Play it now.
And so it begins.
Shall we begin?
So it begins. And now it begins.
So it begins.
And so it begins.
And so it begins.
Shall we begin?
Shall we begin? And so it begins.
And so it begins. And so it begins. So, shall we begin?
So, it begins.
Shall we begin?
Shall I begin? Shall we begin?
Shall we begin? Shall we begin?
What is up, Keely Chow? He's got beef. He's got steak. He's ready for
Chowing
beef.
bong bing. What's up?
Thank you for joining, Keely. Yeah, we're going to be talking about toilet paper.
The toilet paper is making the freaking frogs gay.
Oh, yeah. No, we not really in tune with the entertainment sphere this week. Although we did watch something fairly recent, the Randy Marsh Japanese toilet episode of South Park. What a good episode. And it made me think, oh my God, is there a great toilet paper conspiracy? How deep does this go?
It is a great toilet paper conspiracy, and the key word is great. And who else has great in a slogan? Make America great again. I don't see this as a coincidence. He is behind the toilet paper.
Toilet paper was the first thing we dealt with the China virus.
That was. I thought you were going to say when we brought Africans to America, the first thing we had to make was toilet paper. That's what you're going with.
Charmin was built by slaves.
That would be funny. I don't know if that'd be something they are proud of or not.
That's why they're picking all the cotton. That's what they're making toilet paper out of back
with
then.
the bears. They just replaced them with the bears.
Oh, how have Afrocentrists not got onto this conspiracy?
This was a total accident. I'm not even educated in this shit. I'm just randomly picking
the shit.
and I'm randomly picking it. Like God. Anyway.
Oh my God. Hey, I just on accident looking at Twitter. Jarbo shared this from discussing film. A 9-hour cut of Avatar 3 is rumored to be turning into a limited series for Disney Plus. Holy fuck.
Sweet.
I would love that.
Finally.
That's our biggest thing with the Avatar is like it's not long enough.
Yes.
So much
it's like
more.
it would be better if it were longer. Thank you.
Oh.
Even better.
But yeah, Rookie had an interesting day today. You want to tell us about that?
Oh yeah, had a little live stream on the Fandom Collective YouTube channel with the YouTuber Melanie Mack. She's like a gamer. She used to be a GameStop person, and she actually is one that got canceled. When she's telling her story, it's actually kind of similar to EVS in like in a different way, of course, but similar in like she was doing her job and was kind of open about not wanting to or like not getting vaccinated and stuff, and like people that like turned on her quickly. Like her own peers and like other people just around her in general, like lost 90% of like her people that know her essentially, like of their support of things. And then she found YouTube and was able to get on that and talk about what she wants to and like built up a following from there.
Wait. Back up. You're talking about Melanie Mack?
Yeah.
What did she used to do?
GameStop. Okay, there's more to just GameStop than there is an employee in a store. Like there's other factors, I guess. I think she might have mentioned something else that I am missing to mention here, but I don't remember the specifics. But it's on the stream. If you guys want to check that out, she walks us through that journey because I think there's like a not like a host, but something. I want to say it's something like with what Frost was. something like that. But I
Like,
don't.
was she like in like the corporate sphere of GameStop?
I just listen to the stream because I can't explain it better, to be honest. The specific part of there, the stuff I took from it was that she worked for company, wasn't so cool with it. Neither was a lot of people online. She got canceled. She found herself with YouTube and just talking about stuff that she wants and doing what she wants. So, yeah. And talked about games that adapt to movies, and like I was kind of thinking, because she was saying it's funny because you're talking about how you're playing The Last of Us, and you're like, let me get through the stupid shooting crap so I can get to the cool cutscenes. Like people like her feel the opposite. Like if they're playing a video game, they don't want to watch the video game; they want to play the video game. If they want to watch a movie, they'll watch a movie. So I think they should have kind of a good medium where it's like a company makes. They have like two teams. One's the game team, one's the movie team. So like for God of War, for example, or The Last of Us.
God, they need a God of War series.
Yeah, like that's what they should do is what I'm saying. But they should work in tandem with a gaming company. So it's like, okay, we're going to make the story that people are going to want to be invested in. So the game has to reflect that in some ways here. But it doesn't have to show all, it doesn't have to have 1,000 cutscenes to make it like that. Because the gamers will want a game. And people that like the story can, get that story, especially when they watch it, but still have some of it go through in the game. But, if they can, I feel like if they can do some type of tag team thing with this, then that would be pretty cool for video games and movies going forward. Because you'd be able to watch a movie and go, holy shit, man, I feel like getting into this world. Then you can go play the game and explore other aspects of it, essentially, is what I'm thinking. That'd be pretty freaking tight. They tried to do something like that, but it was horrible in their approach with Marvel back in Phase 1. They would release video games along with the movies, but they would rush make the video games, and they were kind of shit. So they weren't exactly ideal, but that was somewhat of an attempt.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the idea of a game like what I've played of Grand Theft Auto 5. It's very much like there's a narrative just in the cutscenes, but you can do so much in the world trying to make money and business and whatnot, side quests and grinding outside of doing the story. So like I don't see the problem. Like if
well, I'd say Grand Theft Auto is the different like look at The Last of Us or God of War. I feel like that's more of what they're talking about.
Right, but like God of War is pretty repetitive. It's just a button masher.
I think the idea would be to try to come up with elements that make the gameplay more fun and less on the story parts. Like that's where the focus would be. But then for
I don't
people
know.
making the story,
I just don't get it because
area.
When I play a game like that, it's like, all right, I get to be this guy and hit people with a fucking axe. I'm a Greek god of war. I've like decimated the pantheon, and now I've crossed over into the Norse pantheon and have a child that I'm trying to raise. And you're gonna like fight all these Viking gods as a sort of Greek god, demigod, whatever, because he's like a son of Zeus. And that's already cool on its own. And then they give you an actual story that makes the gameplay more worth it, where you want to get to the next. You grind, fight these bosses, and then you get to like the next cutscene that like makes it more worthwhile. So like I don't see the problem. Same with like Tomb Raider, the new one. I haven't played the second or third one, but the first one's so fun to me. It didn't feel cutscene heavy. Like I don't really remember cutscenes. I just
but I mean, Angus, I mean, we've only played, but you and I aren't even really gamers. There's so much more games that have different
right, but like you have shit
so...
like Call of Duty where you just get on or Fortnite and you just shoot and hit stuff all day.
Right, but that's kind of my point, where I think that they're referring to different stuff because like there's a bigger variety of different ones that.
Right, I just think that those games are there. They're always going to be. They got shit like Minecraft. There's no fucking story to you just start building and you level up, I guess, and you just keep building and things attack you and you discover shit and whatever you can think to build depending on how big you make a server, if you're like on a computer, then the sky's the limit. You don't have any fucking story unless you want to make it yourself, and that's all like coding essentially. Like I just don't get it. I don't get like the complaint. Like there's just specific games that aren't your taste.
I suppose. I don't know. That's a bigger topic.
This is why I hate
want to
gaming.
have.
This is why I hate gaming, because
Like
it's mindless. Most
like
games
to me, I
are
like
fucking mindless.
like it's hard. It's hard for me to decide because like it depends on the story for me. Like Halo 2 is like one of the best examples of like when there's the cutscenes, it gets me hyped to play the game. Like, you know, oh, I get to play as the freaking elite now, or oh, the aliens are attacking the ship, and now we're getting ready to get into gear finally. All right, sweet. Got a ceremony thing, celebrate thing. All right, now time to fight.
Like imagine
yes.
if there was a Captain America Civil War game, and so you're like all the major plot points are cutscenes, but you're like doing superhero shit in between that. And people complain like, "Oh man, you got these like long cinematic cutscenes. I just want to fucking pew pew as Iron Man." And it's like, I mean, there's shit like Mortal Kombat where there's almost no story. You just fucking side scrolling, hitting each other all day. Like, there's plenty of games like that, so I don't see the problem.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I just said I don't know.
I feel like people,
I said I'm
I feel like
exploring the
people with that
topic.
take are like looking to complain. Where it's like if I was watching comedy and I kept choosing to watch comedy that doesn't make me laugh, and I'm like, oh man, why can't they make the comedies like this and that with a deep plot and blah blah? And it's like, well, yeah, I get that out of drama and suspense, not out of fucking comedy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, again, that's why I hate gaming as like a general niche of life, because it's like it's just mindless. And you got people like doing God of War. You got people doing like Neil Druckmann with Last of Us, where like they're making something bigger than just gaming, and I appreciate that. Shit like Kingdom Hearts, which I hate. I'm not gonna play that shit, but people talk about how deep it is and stuff, and it's like that's because you have cutscenes that make the little world exploration and hitting shit all day worthwhile. So
Yeah,
you know, no one's like, wow, Pac-Man, that was such an impactful game. Like, you like Pac-Man because you might have leveled up to a high degree compared to other people, and or you have memories playing with people challenging each other at Pac-Man. But like Pac-Man is not memorable on its own. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So, like, even like the old shit like Halo, there's a story there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, that those get you hyped to play the next parts.
Yeah, Frost was right.
Okay.
You're just mad you can't jerk off to this game.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I think her spiel is stupid just for the facts like this is gaming. Like, gamers are mindless. They don't care about any cause.
Right, let alone feminist cause.
Right. It's like
That goes right back to the
Gamergate.
days.
Gamergate was made because people interjected anything that's worth debating into a, like, the only thing gamers care about is like, no, this sequel's better than that one of like franchise, or this one is the supreme game. That's the debate of gaming. So it's like it's very one-dimensional. So like don't interject anything thoughtful in this market is my advice.
Right.
Unless you're gonna do something with like a story. And then yeah, I kind of, just like Misery, I kind of understand the smugness, the perceived smugness of like the elites of the industry that like hate the market that they serve.
Right.
I kind of get it.
Yep. It's crazy.
But
Crazy.
yeah, there's this girl who made a TikTok that's triggering everybody. I think the
somebody
person
on TikTok
posted,
triggering people. What do you mean? That's never
I
happened
think the
before.
person that shared it wasn't. I think they were just sharing it to mock them, and then most people were like, "Yeah, based."
I never like to say based on the internet because I don't know what if they're being for real or not with anything. So it's just like, okay, I don't know. That's there.
So the tweet says, "My future HR manager." Let me scroll down a bit because I feel like this guy replied somewhere. It's like, wow, this really got big. He's like, man, I muted this after 100 likes. It appears this has got some traction. Okay, I don't understand. Let me look at this guy's profile before I share it. So his bio says, reject modernity and embrace masculinity.
Modernity?
Modern times.
Oh,
modernity. Wow. Yeah. This is why you shouldn't play games, Ricky.
Okay.
It dulls your senses.
Okay.
All right, let me pull this up. Sherry Share McSherryton. Where I'm in the wrong tab. There we go. Boomer moment.
You're obviously so if I was like hiring and I saw pronouns, here's what I'm going to assume. I'm going to assume you're obviously very liberal. So I'm going to assume you're one of those people that is super far left. Hey, I'm going to assume you're not a very hard worker. You are either a female or you're a probably not straight guy. So everything in the office is going to have to cater to you, your feelings, your needs, and your emotions. So everyone around you is not going to be able to be themselves and walk on eggshells. Why would anyone want someone like you unless everyone's like you in a work environment? You're going to be the laziest person. You're going to be the most entitled, complain the most, and I think you're going to be the first to sue. So shocker that pronouns weren't helping you guys. Sorry, is there anything I missed there? Sorry. So if I was like...
You got it pretty much covered. I think she covered it pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, this sounds like Comicsgate. You know what we've been talking about for 2017. I mean, the precursor, but like us being aware, 2017.
It's like, God, I mean, I'm trying to imagine if I had a coworker that was like that at all. I mean, God, I'd probably leave. That'd give me a faster way to leave Subway. Fuck. like, all right, nope, I'm done. Woke Subway. No thanks.
Oh, it's funny you say that because Dove. Let me find it.
Dove. No.
The soap company, lotion company. So I have them blocked just because they were ads. So they have a lot of promoted tweets. So I blocked them.
You need to unblock all these ads because they might have a retarded take that you can come.
Well, I'll find out about retard takes. Like I'm pretty sure I blocked M&M's, but I see about their takes pretty quickly. So
I thought you meant Eminem's the rapper for a sec. Eminem, yeah. Blocking the shady.
Where did this go? No,
well, it didn't get legs and run away from you. Not this time.
I just gotta.
Bam, 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 bam.
It's gonna take a minute to find this.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't have lost it. Why'd you lose it? If you knew where it was, then you know where it was going.
All right. So Jamie Lee Curtis said, there is no debate. There's no debate.
All right. I guess that tells it.
That's it. No, there's no debate to argue here. Trans people have been here forever and aren't going anywhere. There is no ideology here. It's simple. Trans rights are human rights. Anything stating the contrary is wrong. And then Dove says, say it louder for the people in the back. So it's got 10 retweets, 147 quote tweets, and only 84 likes.
Do they only have like 100 followers?
No, this is the official Dove. They got 184,000 followers.
Why would they all be following them on Twitter?
Because
It's not like Wendy's where they have funny
corporation
takes.
loves me for my pronouns.
It's like Wendy's might have a funny tweet here or there, so that makes sense.
Thanks for letting me know to save my money. I hope the alphabeties are big spenders. I doubt it somehow, as they always seem to be on the grift for money. I
Speaking
use
of that,
Dove
how do you
soap.
think Jeremy's chocolate's doing?
I use Dove soap to scrub my junk away, and now I can have babies like a real woman. Thank you, Dove.
For some reason that makes me think of SpongeBob, like with magic invisible soap or something. Like it's just like nope, goes away now.
Let's see what else people are saying it. Saying it louder doesn't make it true. I like how people have to, like, on the inverse of this, and people are like, you're not getting a single cent from me. It's like, I mean, they're so insulated. They're so, like, they're such a, at least in like the everyday, like Walmart, they're like a top shelf brand. If you got money, you're like, oh, well, let me get Dove. That's the name brand. I don't want like the Walmart brand. I want Dove because they're a trusted soap company. So like, no one's really going to care in a week that they said this virtue signal. But yeah.
You said Dove. I'm like, is that somebody famous?
Oh, they shared the meme you sent me, Rookie. I love this meme. Dating in 2022. My tits might be fake, but my cock is real.
True.
Start thinking of an excuse why you supported sterilizing children. Spicy! And it's got like 3 times as many likes as theirs.
That's funny.
Oh, where'd that go?
It's weird too how many women try to like vouch for trans stuff. It's like you're just protecting
and then they take their jobs.
Men. It's just so bizarre. To me. It's like some loop-de-loop shit of just like
El Chewbacca Cabra. What's up? Wookiee supremacy, Papa Cotton. You're always changing your name.
Yeah, you're like a trans person. You just can't stick with one fucking pronoun. You're always a different name.
Do I got to see your bracelets to know how you identify today, El Chewbacca Cabra?
Possibly. Positively.
Oh, but yeah, I want to say I should have started this. I'm so scatterbrained today. I do work tomorrow, so but congrats to Vets Talking. I'm gonna share their link if you haven't followed them. We had Soldier Spirit on last week. Good stream. He's monetized his reactions to Tom McDonald, the like patriotic rapper.
I know. Yep.
I hate rap, so like even if you're saying good stuff, like I don't give a shit. Like
no, I get it.
But yeah, I didn't know because he'd been live for like 20 minutes, but I was his first super chat, and I'm like, oh my god, I was not looking for this credit.
Don't make me special. No, I'm not special.
But yeah, I am going to share them. Go sub to them if you haven't already. Where are you? StreamYard. There we go. But yeah, Chewbacca Cabra, what's been up with you? Let us know in the chat. And go sub to Vets Talking, Soldier Spirit. You better use my correct, proper pronouns, or I'm going to have a period all over this place, bigot.
I know you can use your, area down there like a squirt gun with blood. Your crotch cannon.
Yeah, but Rookie, you had a toilet paper-based article for us to ponder.
Well, I'll get that in a minute because I gotta wash my hands. But I can talk about 65 first.
Oh God! Why? Why, God? Why? No!
This is totally an up your alley movie. I don't know why you resist it.
Why are you sounding like Christopher Walken right now?
That's not Christopher Walken. This is, I want to. How can I get into Christopher Walken? What's one of his lines that he says?
Well, cowbell.
Angus. I have to hear him. No, I haven't done it in a while. So, is that close? Yeah, Angus. The key to life. I can't do him. I don't know. It's been too long. It's been too long since I've heard the old Walkster. But no, I saw 65, and it's a original movie. It's not like fucking franchise of anything, not an adaptation of anything. It's got Adam Driggity Driver, and he actually acts really well. And there's like only one other person in the movie, pretty much. Technically, you could say two, but she doesn't last very long.
Spoilers.
Yeah, but I didn't decide to specify. And it's 65 million years ago. There's no time travel. There's no portal shit. But he is basically a space bus driver, is what I kind of call him. And
it's a space trucker, like Alien.
And sort of, he's transporting people specifically as the cargo, I guess. And they end up crashing on Earth. Oh, fuck. There's like a recent collision with some asteroids that made a lot more debris than they were planning to go through. And so that led to a little rocky landing. And he was pretty much the only one left. But then he discovered there's one more child left, and he's going to look after her as he tries to get her to an escape pod. But it's dinosaur-infested Earth, so it's going to be a little tougher than you think. And it's a nice little short hour and a half. Neat little movie. So go watch that instead of Ant-Man Quantum Retardation.
No, I'd rather see Ant-Man again.
I hate you.
It's fired. Just weird when Rookie is like, whoa, go see this content. Because Rookie's just always like, oh man, this is like a must see. People love this. He's like, eh. And then like it seems everyone's like 65 sucked.
I'm like, fuck you.
Like, no, like, you go see this. It's great. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I can.
Well, I'm not. It's not fucking amazing, but it's good. It's fine. Okay, but I have to hype it up more because of the stupid people that are like, there wasn't enough dinosaur text.
Oh shit! When I went on YouTube and then I typed in YouTube in the search. We're like, damn it. 65 review. Here we go. We're gonna scroll. We're gonna look. Maybe we'll react a bit to one, Rookie. Whichever one floats your goat.
All right, whichever one tickles your potatoes.
All right, let's start scrolling. All right, so 65 review. This tells me nothing. Look at Jeremy Johns. Look at him. He's like,
I don't know.
What the fuck is this? Look at Tyrone Magnus.
I want relevance.
How is this so boring?
All right, yeah, pleb take. Nice.
How bad is it?
It is. Let's do that one.
Well, we gotta keep looking. All right, 65. Look at this guy. He's like, it smells like I crap myself.
God, they're just gonna be like, there wasn't enough T-Rex. The raptors weren't cool like Blue in Jurassic World or something.
Angry Joe did one.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's Christian Harloff out of the theater reaction. Look at this woman. Deep focus lens. Look at her. She just looks like in a state of disarray. This movie has unsettled the equilibrium of her life. This is how devastating 65 was.
No, that's just the same picture she uses for whatever.
Wait. Let's double check this. No, it's definitely not. There's a wide spectrum of emotion in these thumbnails. Why did you laugh at that?
Look like clones. What are you fucking talking about? Just her arm is in that same state forever. It's so tired.
I like how she's at playlist of like action adventure western. It's like I get nothing from these thumbnails. Star Wars. Look at this Star Wars. Top Gun. I would have no idea I'm gonna watch Top Gun review from his fucking thumbnail of some random woman by her couch.
This could either be the set to a boring.
Oh my god, I got a sub to this girl just so her next thing pops up. I can just see like, was this one? Why did I sub to this chick?
You
like,
should do a Patrick laugh, pretty much.
Let's look at some. Look at Mama's Geeky. Look at her face. She's like, how? What did I say? Oh my god.
I'm actually curious what people will say about it because it sounds like they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That's not what a raptor looked like back in that day. Who knows, eh?
Look at this guy. Sean Chandler talks about. Here's his. Look at his face. He looks like instant regret.
Pick your favorite face, Angus, and let's get it on.
Well, I just want to.
You're like it's like grocery shopping with you, for fuck's sake. Like I'm ready to go. I got.
Well, I'm really.
Pick, and you're going around the whole store.
Look, why fans are freaking out about 65? Should you be worried?
The further you go down, the
See
less relevant they'll be. So it's like, who cares what Randy.
He's like, look at this guy. He's like, what was the cinematic nightmare I've seen called 65? 65 is shockingly bleak. Kylo Ren meets Jurassic Park disaster.
Like, I don't.
Look at this guy. Okay, he looks Asian. He's squinting so hard he appears Asian. That's how like hard he's trying to figure out this
double
movie.
Asian squared.
Well,
actually.
if he is Asian, he's probably like Filipino or something because his last name is Veloso. That sounds Hispanic. So he's probably Filipino. 65 is a movie that exists.
God, every review is retarded so far. Based on their title. Like, Jesus Christ. I mean, again, it's not like a fucking brilliant. I'm not comparing it to Jurassic fucking Park, but it's like
Doden's movie reviews. 65, a disappointing bore.
Oh my god! It's like
look, Adam does movies. 65, not too bad.
No, give me shit. Click on the shit reviews because I want to hear what retarded things you have to say. He was in the movie and then he didn't get a lightsaber fight somebody, and I don't know.
Lightsaber.
He didn't get to flip around and kick him and say more. So it's not good enough.
Which one was
your favorite? Your favorite face? I don't know. Your favorite?
No. I thought there was one that like suggests you. It's like, how bad is it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
how bad? How is this boring?
How is it boring? Perfect.
No, well, it says, how is this so boring?
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Stress the so boring. All right.
Want a second income stream? Because if you can download...
Shut up, ad.
Mr. Ads.
It's like I do on Twitter.
Years. It's about how long it took this movie to get interesting.
Oh, because there's a fucking final thing you T-Rexes at the end. Okay. This ought to be great.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to my review of the new release that you probably are not talking about this weekend. 65,
got him.
With Adam Driver, where he goes and lands on Earth 65 million years ago with futuristic tech and has to fight off dinosaurs. How in the fuck can that concept not be awesome? Let me start off by saying man.
What's the point of the cut?
2023 has been off to a rough start.
He's setting the tone of like, look. Oh my god, there's a dinosaur scare with Adam Driver, a great actor. How could this be so bad?
Yeah, it was just like premise. It was just so like, all right, and now we're back. I don't know. It didn't tell us.
I've actually been kind of getting like mildly depressed as somebody that goes to the movies every single week because of the films aplenty that I have seen in the first 2.5 months of this year. Only 2 of them do I genuinely really like, and both of them are movies that are just the type of movies I would never watch again. And everything else has either been bad or just like, that was pretty good. 65 was a movie that the trailer came out of nowhere for me. And I watched it and
so
went,
far he's
man,
told me
that looks
nothing.
kick-ass. That's going to be...
So far, he's gave no information about anything.
Hold
He's
on.
Just
We got to pad.
I don't know anything about his taste.
We got to pad the ad stats. Shut up.
Like,
he's learned from
Christ.
Mike Zero. You got to, build up with kind of nothing for a minute.
I hate intro shit where it's like, the way, I had an itchy asshole when I went to the theater, and then I sat down. I was thinking about how much my butt hurts, and then I was getting at the popcorn. It was extra salty with butter, and it's like, what the fuck does that have to do with the fucking movie? Fucking talk, like what information is that helpful for? Maybe if you have maybe if you're in a shitty mood during the movie, well then that's your asshole problem, not the movie problem.
See, I'm generally never in a shitty mood when I go to the movies because I always bring my flask and fill liquor into my root beer, and so every movie has got a good feeling going in.
Yeah.
So when I tell you, like, whoa, this sucks, it's like
that's
literally
the alcohol
that's through alcohol. So like I was feeling the alcohol when I went to see Venom, and I'm like, wait, I wonder if I'll like this sober. And it's like, oh, I did. Okay, so it wasn't just the liquor, like
right.
Because I was really into it, and I'm like, yeah, and then I'm like, well, what was really mediocre, like storytelling, but Venom's awesome. So it's very disjointed in that way. But anyway, let's continue, Mr. Leach.
Yeah, I'm not mad at you, Mr. Leach. It's just
be one of those movies that like
annoying.
Drops out of nowhere, like the first John Wick, and then we're talking about for a while, like, hey, that was a really genuinely cool surprise that year. And I saw this in a double feature the other night with my buddy CP right after we got out of Scream 6. And
anything. It's not just his fault. It's a common. It's like a trope. It's a trope with reviewers. Like they talk about the other day was not. I wonder how your fucking breakfast was. Like what the fuck does that have to do with the movie? How long are we into this video, Angus?
Minute and a half.
Disappointed me a good bit. So I was really hoping that 65 was going to be like an uptick from the experience that we just had. Unfortunately, it did not go down that way.
So you're setting up like, okay, yeah, I'm going to the movies. I'm doing a double feature. Saw Scream 6, didn't like it. Expecting going in, thinking this is going to bring me up. That's what he's setting up.
Like
here.
I guess that's how that should have started.
Not a good movie. So starting off with the positives, I will say that Adam Driver is great. He does everything he possibly can to carry this film. He's one of those newer actors that.
Him out of the 4 actors, yeah, he did amazing. I know, but like, there's literally 4 actors in the movie. Just kind of funny. So it's like
spoilers.
You're only comparing it to but yes, he does well. I agree with him.
I have not seen him do even a mediocre job. I haven't liked a ton of movies that he's been in, aside from The Force Awakens, which unfortunately the next 2 sequels kind of sabotaged for me. Thought he was amazing in Marriage Story, but again, that's the type of movie I probably
incel approved.
He's on our team in that regard, so that's neat.
Fandom Menace confirmed.
Automatically, yes. You're welcome, bigot. We are now brothers.
Hold on. I gotta look at his channel. Let me see what he's covered recently.
What a
complete Blu-ray collection. It's a 7-hour fucking stream of 18,000 Blu-ray, 1,800 Blu-rays he's got.
There's a lot of YouTubers that do like Blu-ray videos like that. I will admit they do.
Fuck that. That's
a lot of them.
Retarded.
I have like 10 Blu-rays.
I got like probably half my shit's Blu-ray because when I worked at the movie store, I would take my inferior digital video disc and exchange them for the high quality Blu-ray. But yeah, it just does movie reviews. But fuck, that's his most popular thing is a fucking complete Blu-ray collection, 1,800 plus titles. And it's like, oh my god. And he's got like the same setup as Chris Stuckman. Gay.
You picked quite a pause face for him. This movie.
We should totally clip this and find him on Twitter and be like, "Hey, we reviewed you. Here's our thumbnail, you retard."
Well, So far, I don't. So far, I don't disagree with him. So far, so that's all right.
Probably would never watch again. Other things I've seen him in, I just kind of get mad, like, oh man,
But I will
this
say,
could have been a great franchise for him. This
okay, I guess I get where I've done this too, but it's like he's talking about other movies now with Adam Driver, and it's like the video's how long? The whole
10
length?
minutes.
And how far are we into it now? Like,
Wait. How is it bad to include an established actor's other performances in comparison to this film?
I don't know.
Like,
It's like, do you do? I guess it's like, are you going to do that with every movie with an actor? You're going to compare to
no,
other
but
things?
if you're invested or you're interested, because like, all right, someone goes back, or it's a movie set back in time, and humanity is actually interstellar, and so we came here 65 million years ago. That's the whole like twist of the film. And it's like concept, and so like, okay, interesting. And so it's like, here's a spaceman, Kylo Ren,
I guess it's like he's
dinosaurs.
talking about positives.
Wow.
I guess he's talking about positives of the film, and so far, this doesn't really say much. Is all I'm getting at, because that's what he's on.
Like,
and then he says Adam Driver, and then he's talking about Adam Driver, and he liked him in other movies. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like that's fine to talk about. I just feel like just here with this format set up, that doesn't. I don't know why that's here. I guess is where my head's at. But
he kind of looks like you, honestly, like in the eyes.
Well, maybe the eyes. He's squinty. Yeah, I'm.
Is he your cousin?
No, I have no idea. Maybe he is. I don't know.
You should do a 23andMe. I
don't know that reference. So
wait, you don't know what 23andMe is? It's like a DNA test.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that gives me another video to show.
That was the name of a movie.
Gives me another video to show. There's a video of this guy sent his iguana's DNA test to 23andMe, and the results are funny as fuck. So anyway,
now we're doing bad reacting. We're talking about other things that are funny.
This is why I hate the weirdos on Twitter. Like,
how did they do a 4-hour stream about a girl's 10-minute video?
It's right, because you're friends, you have rapport, and then you think of other shit, and so then you get tangents, because like that's how people talk.
With Mahler's thing, when they covered Jenny Nicholson on EFAP, that it's like 11 or 12 hours, and they're like, you did an 11-hour stream being mean to a girl. It's like, yeah,
well,
sure.
It's funny because it's like, have you never had a conversation, and then you're like, wait, how did we get here? Oh yeah, because we've been talking for like 2 hours. Like,
no, you're right. No, I love our tangents. They're actually hilarious, because now I actually want to.
Well, no, it's funny because then we at some point 10 tangents later, like, how do we get here? And it's like, I start backtracking, and like, that's how we got here. Actually, we were talking about Ultron, and now we're talking about toilet paper.
I want to see those lizard results for the matching. Amazing.
Okay.
That sounds
anyway,
hilarious.
For 2 minutes. Let's continue.
Could have been a really good jump off point, or a really nice standout movie in his filmography, and he's the best part about it. Everything surrounding him just does not measure up. And I'll also say that the CGI on the dinosaurs that we get in here is pretty good. It's convincing. It's nowhere near the escapism or the movie magic of things like the original Jurassic Park. What is? I don't really necessarily walk in with that standard, but if you're somebody that any form of CGI, even if it's really decent CGI, is just not going to really be effective for you, you always know you're looking at a computer graphic, then you might not feel that way. But
yeah, the
for
graphics
what they were
fine.
doing, I think
it's hard. The reason why Jurassic Park
Look at his face now.
Yeah, he looks like he's angry that I'm talking now. He's like, you fucking fucker. You're like, you think you can talk over me, you son of a bitch? That's what he's like. Nah. But like Jurassic Park, with their mix of animatronics and CGI, that's like something a lot of other film studios seem to not want to do with things. So it's always like, here's pure CGI, and it's like, well, that's just going to have lesser of an effect compared to Jurassic Park. So, and Jurassic Park will always have that extra realist look or feel to it. So, yeah, it was
pretty
fine
good.
in here.
I think that was honestly one of the most effective parts of the film when we actually do get dinosaur action. And that's unfortunately all I really have.
Oh no, see, it is going to be because the lack of dinosaur fights. He wants to be
this
more
thing, all of the best parts, all of the exciting parts, all of the parts that you really went to this movie to see are mostly in the third act, and all of it is in the trailer. Essentially, the storyline you have here is that Adam Driver is a part of some race somewhere on some planet far away that happens to talk and look.
It's humans on another planet 65 million years ago. It's like it's that simple. But I don't know why he's phrasing. I don't know why he's phrasing it like it's so bizarre. It's like
sounds retarded.
Like Star Wars takes place in a galaxy far, far away,
but it's not coming to Earth.
Yeah, but still, it's like the way it's like in a galaxy that's for some reason like far away. I don't know, like the way he's phrasing
it's a long
this.
Time ago.
Like it's like, well, what do you mean? Like, yeah, that's what the premise is. Like on Aliens, there's like a little bit in the future, and I guess there's people are in space. Like I don't know.
Yeah, we become
a weird sell for the movie here. I don't know. It's like, all right, yeah, I don't see what the problem is. All right, let's continue.
Exactly like modern day humans, only they have futuristic tech. And he's a pilot.
Wait. Okay, so with sci-fi, there should be an awareness of science. All right, and so given that just 6 million years ago, give or take, is our branch from chimpanzees, the common ancestor. Look how different we are. Like just 250,000 years ago or less, there's Neanderthals and other sub variants of like human relatives.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not even a million years. So actually think about science, like, wait a minute. Somehow we have humans 65 million years in the past for this premise that, yeah, like, but the fact that he pointed it out in a way at first was like, well, yeah, it's a it's a sci-fi. What then I'm thinking, wait, science. Oh man, that is stupid actually. Like
well, it's like it depends on what the intention is. Like
well, it's different from like the engineers in Alien. They are like a human precursor. It seems.
Yeah,
but maybe we're a creation, but they are a very different species than humans. You know what I mean?
But yeah, no, I get that. But like the focus of the movie isn't like on any of that stuff at all. Like when he says they have advanced technology, we literally only see that in his spaceship. We don't we don't see like we don't see civilization.
This is like when I watch Mahler and he'll make a point, or at least he'll make a point for other people. And his whole thing is like, well, if someone liked something and they didn't actually think about it, and now that you've pointed out logically how stupid it is, you've ruined it for them, so you're bad. And he's like, I'm not going to say sorry for essentially educating you.
I agree. And no,
so the fact that this guy pointed this out is like, oh man, like that's going to be in my head the whole time if I never see this movie.
I guess so. You seem to be adamant to strongly not see this film for some reason. It's really weird when you have a stance like, no, I will not see this film. It's like, why is this one the one you want to push on? You made me watch fucking Velma, and it's like this is like a good movie that isn't action, but I don't know. Let's continue.
Just with this quiet scene with him and his wife and his daughter at this beach where he is kind of telling them, hey, I'm about to go on this 2-year journey so that we can get money because his daughter has an illness and they want to be able to pay for it. And so it's just a little quiet moment amongst family before he ventures off and doesn't see them for a few years. Immediately hard cut to him on the ship as asteroids hit it and it crash lands onto this planet. And so you get no context, no backstory whatsoever on who this race is. Are they humans? Are they somebody that's just an alien race that's like humans? What exactly does he work for?
I feel like this guy wanted to watch like Star Wars with dinosaurs or something like that. Like, no, this wasn't anything like that.
Come on. That's no, I gotta disagree. I think a lot of people have that take with this, but he's pointing out like we know nothing about this guy but this impetus, and now pow, you know, and like what's investing besides like a cheap, oh, my sick daughter, like, you know, John Wick, you have, oh no, they smashed my puppy and so I'm going to kill fuckers, like, but that's the whole point of the movie, is just like something simple.
I mean,
to
you know
kickstart
that,
an action film.
I mean, I don't know. It's like this was simple too. His daughter dies. Like it's not. You don't need to have a backstory for that.
I guess it's a premise thing, and how he's pointing this out is like, oh, so I have no investment
Because I guess it's like if we were to spend an hour into the movie or half an hour or 20 minutes, like, and then we get to the planet, like, I don't know if that would like matter, because that's not what the focus is for this. Like, as far as I can tell, this isn't going to be a franchise. This is an original film here. They're just trying to make it just seems like a one-shot movie. That's what I'm getting. It's not like a franchise thing here. It's just doing one little movie.
No, the one shot, that don't matter. When you watch Castaway, you understand in really a brief moment of time, probably like 15 minutes, you understand he's got a fiance, that he is dedicated to his job.
I know where you're going with this, and that's fine, and I agree that is something to do, and that can work, and that I like as well. But I don't know. I don't think that every movie needs to have that kind of thing either. This seems like it's getting right to the point, and I don't know. It doesn't seem like you need to have other stuff for this kind of a setup here. It's a father who loses his daughter. He goes to this planet, and he's pretty much, I want to see how this guy describes it, but I think it's set up better than how he's describing it. But anyway, let's continue.
Doing? Why is he going there? Why does he have passengers? What are they trying to accomplish? You get none of that context as far as exposition in the first act. It's just immediate to whatever the concept of the film is. And typically when that happens in a film where they're like, we're not bothering with the explanation, let's get to the meat of it, that means it's a movie where they're trying to really get to the action. This is going to be a mile-a-minute movie. All that shit's inconsequential. You know what you're here for. But then you spend the next hour plus walking and communicating with a girl that does not speak English. And you get a couple of dinosaurs here and there, but mostly smaller dinosaurs. And experimenting with the plant life that's there. Is this safe to drink? Is this safe to eat? I don't know. Let's put it in this little device. Beep. Nope. No, it's not. All right. Keep moving. Keep walking. And so the pacing of this...
its interactions with the daughter are interesting because, they don't speak English, and they're trying to simply, walk to this other area that is dangerous. I don't know.
Walking.
It's not. It's like, in a lot of things that you and I watch, characters are walking often. I don't see where the fucking Game of Thrones, all they do is sit and walk. Like, they don't, like there's, and then might be a sword fight once in a while. Like that, I don't know. It seems like he just wanted it to be like he wanted to watch Jurassic World Dominion or some shit, or one of those things. That's the vibe I'm getting with this. The vibe I'm getting with all these
trailer. The way you set this up, where it's like, okay, you're not going to give me any real backstory or depth to the world that this guy's from. All right, you're just going to like crash land and we got to deal with dinosaurs. That's like, okay, so we're cutting to the action. So I'm expecting a continual buildup of action with dinosaurs. And then it's like, oh, I'm dealing with this fucking guy and this kid trying to communicate and walking. So I think that's valid. Maybe it's not necessarily... I would say maybe that's more subjective taste, not objective, like this is the quality or not. But
I mean, I feel like a dinosaur. So I guess I'll clarify some of my point here. It's like, for the kind of movie I think that people would want to see, there'd have to be a lot more characters in the movie, because with just one or two characters that's on a dinosaur planet, you want all this action. Like, I'm failing to see how that's in any way interesting if nobody's gonna die. Because it's just, I'm shooting at the dinosaurs, huh? And it's like, well, like that's like in Jurassic Park, the intense scenes aren't the firing, the shooting with dinosaurs, right? It's like they're trying to escape from dinosaurs, if anything. And that's what this film does. They're trying to get out of danger. They're not like, we're fighting. We're not fighting a bunch of dinosaurs. They're trying to get the fuck away. And there's like one or two shootouts, but like there's different situations they're in that aren't action packed and super like high. Oh my God, fucking action. But they're intense and close counter. Like they're like that. That's what I guess that's what I'm getting at with this. That's like, I don't, maybe the trailer is what's fucking everything over with this film. And that it's like they feel deceived with it going in. Maybe the trailer sold them a different movie. But
all right, so 65 has grossed 24 million worldwide.
Yeah,
Its
unfortunately.
budget was between 45 and 91 million.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, but I guess so. It's like what this guy's saying. I'm not disagreeing with him that having more information on other stuff would be interesting. I'm just like, to me, this, like, you and I are watching The Last of Us, and this is pretty much a Last of Us kind of thing.
Well,
Here. So it's like I'm seeing that, and I'm like, yeah, this is fucking great. And it's not like there's not a whole bunch of action. There's some action, yes, but it's not like it's not the action, I guess, that people
no,
want.
I don't mind being subverted where it's like, well, dinosaur shooty movie. And then it's like, oh, we get this like in-depth character study, but it sounds like you don't get either.
Well, it's like, I don't know how in depth you need to be. I mean, I feel like it's fine. It's not like, I wouldn't compare it in any way to like an episode of Last of Us where they get how in depth they get with that stuff.
Well, like the movie Prey, all right, it's turns out it's a Predator prequel, and it's like an Indian girl, and then you see like she's very abrasive individually to the expectation, especially being a woman in this world, and actually she's not all that hot shit. She actually fails, and has a lot to learn, and then she ends up being a prime target and eventually foe to this predator. And you see like an escalation of violence and an escalation of like her know-how and kind of research, essentially challenging this thing and finally figuring out how to like challenge it worthily or trick it, to defeat it. So, and there's a lot of like calmer moments outside of like, whoa, that cool action sequence. So yeah, like you don't have to just bamboozle me with monster all day to like still feel satisfied from like the trailer cell. So I don't know, I've seen movies that like the trail, like The Witch is one of my favorite movies, and most people that saw it expected like a bloodbath onslaught in the Puritan world against a witch, and it's actually mostly The Shining in the Puritan world. And so great misdirect trailer, but like a really good film, but not what most people saw it were probably expecting, and so a lot of people don't like it because of the sell of the film.
I guess I also don't know much about the studio that made this film or how much money they would have been able to invest in this other than
Raimi is a producer.
Because like, if they were to show more of like the civilization or more technology and people, and like, I don't know how much more that would really cost them. And again, this isn't an adaptation for anything. This isn't attached to anything else. The only selling point is Adam Driver and dinosaurs. So,
also, looking at this guy's popular videos, his best stuff is horror, and so that might influence a bit. He's got a big Dexter review.
That could be, but it seems like he's not alone in how he feels with this, with all the reviews versus just titles looking at, essentially. But
yeah, he seems very much in the horror suspense genre. A lot of his reviews that I'm scrolling through. Damn it, I need to go see Megan. Or rent it, I guess, now. There's something. Oh, wait. Hold on. Scott Beck. All right, let me look at their filmography. Scott Beck is a writer and producer on A Quiet Place. Okay, so yeah, they sold this like from the writers of The Quiet Place. So this writer directed this film. He also did the film Haunt. Never heard of it. Let me see. I mean, $2 million looks like a low budget indie film. I'm not sure how much they spent on it though. But yeah, like knowing this is from Sony.
To me, this seems like a high budget indie film. Is how I would sell this.
Right.
Because it's not. Let's go.
this story, it just drags its ass to where I swear to God, I picked up my phone at some point, which I usually never do, not even to check the time. I picked my phone up, flashed it for a second, and I said, this has been on for an hour. Feels like it's been on for 2. They don't establish any other conflicts or anything that they have to overcome along the way beyond a little bit of a language barrier. So it's just a film that immediately drops you into this world, gives you an endpoint.
So when Adam Driver and then when they crash, he gets kind of injured. Shard is in his belly to start on his trip here. They've got to go through some pretty rough terrain. They get trying to get away from a T-Rex. They get chased into like this little raptor cave. They don't just get like ambushed right away, but it's like claustrophobic and tough to get out. He's got limited tools. His tools are getting dwindled as they go. He breaks his shoulder, gets cut the fuck up. Like, I don't know, like, and he can't communicate with her directly, clearly. Like, there's a lot of miscommunication with some of this. So, like, I feel like that alone is the thing. He's surrogate dad here. Like, I don't know. I feel like what he wants as conflict is different. Like, I can see what he means when he says that, because I do think this would benefit if there was more, like if there's extra conflict or extra things to pay attention to. But I feel like what they gave is more than what he's selling here. What he's describing.
We got to get from point A to point B, and then you just watch these two characters walk to point B for 90
like
minutes.
That's such a weak way to describe. It's like you know, Joel.
People like, oh,
Joel and Ellie.
They walk.
Joel and Ellie, at Lord of the Rings, they'll just walk across the land. They just walked there, huh? Just like, well, yeah, they did use the process of with their feet moving on the ground to get to the next place, but that's not an accurate description of what happens here, really. Like, okay, like yeah, feet was their transportation. Yes,
I've never experienced Rookie this mad about.
I'm not actually mad. That's funny. I'm not mad. It's just it just happens to be
your language. Normally watching YouTube, this would sound like a person ranting about a bad take.
You're right. Okay, you know, I know this is out of my normal.
This is new territory.
I guess it's because I feel like me and Tim, oddly enough, he looks like Adam Driver, are like the only people that fucking like this film. It seems, and it's like. Okay, it's not just that, I like it, but it's a bad movie. It's like, no, because this doesn't have the qualities of, it's a bad movie that I love. Isn't it fun and stupid? It's like, no, this is a different, this has some quality here that's good. And again, comparable to the freaking Last of Us is what I'm sticking with here. So, and yeah, they just walked there and did nothing. They walked across dinosaur-infested land and do get attacked. I mean, he seems to be forgetting to mention that shit and the injuries along the way, and like when he and what could have been a simple like the communication between him and the girl, and it would be a lot better if they could speak the same freaking language. Like that plays a part in a lot of what happens, and so he's got to try different ways to do it. He's a jaded father, sort of, but he's sort of understanding. I don't know. So more to it than that's being told.
All right, let's continue.
What they're trying to go for here is kind of a version of The Last of Us, and not to claim that The Last of Us was the first thing to do this type of storyline. It's not. It's definitely derivative of other things that I've seen, but that's the biggest counterpoint that I can think of, just because I'm a fanatic and the show is currently airing. So immediately you see this guy who has abandoned his daughter back on his planet to go off to do this mission. And now he has this younger girl that he is the only person that can care for her. And so he's trying to protect her through this journey. It's point A, B, and C of The Last of Us, with none of the effective drama, with none of the charm, with none of the thematic elements that are present in that story, not even any of the action sequences that you get in The Last of Us or the horror sequences. And one of the biggest reasons why the relationship between these two characters isn't effective or gripping enough to make a movie with little action and a lot of just walking and talking effective is.
Thank you for you can't. Yeah. I mean, okay. When they're in, I mean, that's I comparing to The Last of Us, I think that the stuff in The Last of Us is better. Yes, I would agree that the majority of everything he said is better in The Last of Us. I don't think that 65 compares in that kind of way. I think because this is a movie as well, and it's trying to do one thing real quick, and there's no other human, no other people to interact with, that you're not going to get the same kind of thing. But no, there are some tension-filled moments, and ones that you could say is horrific-ish, like, when they're in this little cave thing, and he's trying to get a way out there's like a hole big enough. He ends up making a hole big enough for the girl to crawl through, and gets her to crawl through it. And then on the surface, there's a T-Rex just stomping around, or like, walking around. You don't see it, but like,
God, we watch a T-Rex walk.
No, I said you don't see it, but while she's crawling,
we hear it walking. My God.
While she goes through this little hole thing, it's walking over them, and it's shaking the ground, and then more stuff, and then like the ceiling collapses.
So she got a little dirty. That's the tension.
And then he is trapped there, and she's outside, and so it's like she's by herself, and he's inside, and then he's trying to find his own way out here too. And there happens to be a raptor that's in there, which they set up that there was ones in there, so it's not a surprise. But then his technology gets kind of like messed up a little bit as he's getting less and less, as he's using them more and more, and so he's got to fight a freaking raptor, or two of them, in the dark. But until he can find his gun, his like flashlight gets knocked out or something, or while he was moving her, I forget specifically, and so he's got to deal with raptors in the dark, and he's able to he activate a different device, and he's able to get enough light to sort of see where they are, and then he's able to kill them. But like that's like that, it can be horrific to some people. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like as comparable to even like the clicker scene in The Last of Us or anything. Like, that stuff's portrayed far better, I would say. But I don't know. This has its moments that I'm sure there's a lot of people that would be like, oh shit. Knowing somebody like my mom, even, it's like, she'd be like, oh no, fuck, there's a thing right there. Like,
inside me.
Yes. But this could
Adam
be
Driver movie 69.
But with the context you said that this guy's a horror film guy, this totally probably won't be like acceptable. It's like, this is amateur shit with that. So,
right. Do you want to see Jeremy John's take? Because he does quick takes.
Yeah, let's do him. He gets to the point pretty good.
Ohio State residents.
That's your home.
With your solar agenda.
Oh, because you
try
too
hard.
That
So I'm
mine. Good.
not going to try too hard in my review. I'm going to give you my thoughts in and out really quick.
Yes.
Less than 5 minutes. Let's do it.
Boom, boy. Good boy.
So 65 is a boring slog of an action drama sci-fi film. Adam Driver plays this pilot from another world. He's hauling a bunch of people who are in cryo. He gets hit by this asteroid. The ship crash lands on this planet. There's one survivor. So he and this one survivor are going to traverse this alien world that happens to be Earth 65 million years ago, which I always found was weird that it was shown in the trailer. That would have been an awesome reveal. I remember watching the trailer being
agree.
That could be.
I agree. That would have been a better thing. But then again, I don't know how you sell it necessarily with what they filmed with it. So there's literally 3 sets as far as like, there's the home planet, the ship, and then there's Earth with its different little places. So not many places to go to, but continue.
A Planet of the Apes style reveal at the end of the film. And after watching the movie, it still could be. It tells you in text in the title of the movie. It's like, by the way, this is Earth 65 million years ago. Would have been way cooler to have it be called 65 and have some sort of red herring roped up thing going on. Like, oh, I'm hauling 65 passengers. The audience is like, oh, that's why it's called 65. Because
I actually agree that this would help enhance the film. What he's saying. I agree with what he's saying here.
Sentence enhancer.
This would enhance the film. I do agree. Yes.
It's in here. I recognize some of them, but there are some like I don't know what that dinosaur is. Granted, not a paleontologist, but
I'm actually glad there wasn't every single dinosaur that I'm familiar with, because it's like, I do wonder if a film would ever do that with dinosaurs. Like, no T-Rex, no raptor, no pterodactyl, no long neck thing. Like, just like have a bunch of ones that are like, what the fuck is that thing? That'd be interesting. Yes, continue.
I didn't recognize. So have the ones that are less recognizable be the main threat, and then at the end have a T-Rex, and audience can be like, 65 million years, right? All right, basing the film on what it did do.
I like the way he did
They
that.
walked. That happened. Which you could have work. The premise of the film is that Adam Driver finds this little girl, the sole survivor of this crash. This girl reminds him of his daughter, and so he's going to take her to safety. Right. It's prehistoric Last of Us, which does show us two things. One, this movie could have worked. Two, there's a show out there and a game for PS5.
I'm glad that I'm not the only one that thinks of The Last of Us.
All the same game that do it better. You do get some of the, dinosaurs are coming, pew pew, shooty action, but you don't have that character development and that character attachment that makes you care about the plight that they're in. It's so funny. A sci-fi movie about people traversing the dangerous lands of...
no, I can't. Yeah, you can't. But I don't know. I guess when people are saying like that you can't get in with the plight, like, so it's the kind of thing where I agree that having more information and knowing more about them would help, probably improve it. But I don't see that as necessarily a problem. Like if you're just dropped in to see like a man trying to save a child, like, is it like, I don't know anything. I don't know anything about the child. I don't give a fuck if they die or something. Like, it's like, well, the point is that it's a man trying to save a kid. Like, that's supposed to be the part where you go, oh, like, I don't want them to die. Like, that'd be neat to have them not. But like, I don't know, like, to understand the plight.
That's where you get like flashbacks or something where it's like, oh, hey, that mountain reminds me of back home. And you make some plot off of just him talking about, like, for a minute, like, yeah, my grandfather, he lived in the flat desert or the Sahara, and he always wanted to see a mountain, and so that was always a goal of mine. Like, it's literally just fucking ad-libbing something.
I do actually like what you said there. That kind of thing could have been in this more, where it's like more fleshing out his character in that kind of way. But the problem is, she wouldn't understand a fucking word that he says.
He could through essentially like theater, a monologue to himself, however brief.
Yeah,
he could be stating his thoughts.
Yeah, I guess
without a flashback, that's your other workaround narratively.
Yeah,
is vocalizing your thoughts.
I guess so. Going to I feel like with this one, we're able to kind of get a little bit more about what the issue is. So I feel like, if he wasn't just playing the Adam Driver of it, like like he's pretty sort of broody-ish, but not entirely. He's not like, I don't want to talk to you, but he's like, he's just pretty quiet, and he just wants her to listen to him, but he's not. There could be more character for him. There could be more character for him that would make it more invested, I guess, to watch him do stuff and see what happens. It's like, oh shit, okay. Like, I think they could have done more with it to make it better. That's why I don't think this is an amazing film. It's fine. It's just the way it's drugged down sometimes. Like, no, that's not right. Not right. But yes,
this is your Alita battle angel.
I guess, man. I'm gonna be like, I'm just, hey, anybody else like this movie? Everybody,
65 universe.
Everybody steps away from me when I say anybody else like this.
65 like, you.
Yeah, it's 50% females. Well, technically, there's like 75% females.
Oh, wow!
You see his daughter.
Get woke, go broke.
You see his wife, and then you see this daughter. There's only one male character in this movie.
And guess what? All the dinosaurs are female.
Possibly.
Earth filled with predators and dinosaurs just felt like a slog. It felt like Randall's impersonation of Lord of the Rings 2 Towers and Clerks 2. Yeah, 2 Towers, not Fellowship, because there is that occasional sidestep. Funny enough, talking about The Last of Us, I could actually go for a video game adaptation for this, because it looked like a video game. His weapon looks like it's from a video game. Looks like something out of Destiny or Halo.
Yeah, it is like a charge up. It's like his electric gun or something. Like, oh, I got my charging gun. It's like, it goes beep, 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 and then it can fire.
Call it a boss fight, and this movie is absolutely from a video game. Shoot the monster, wound the monster, the thing that's going to hurt the monster, and then you kill the monster. I'm like, this It's the Legend of Zelda or Metroid fight. Bust out the Chrono Scepter and let's have ourselves a good time. Anyhow, it was a slog. It was boring, shocking given the content and subject matter. After watching it, I was like, 65 stands for 65 million years, which is how long this 90-minute movie feels. This is a film that on paper has all the makings of great intrigue and uses none of it. It's the kind of film I'm not going to remember. Not in T-1 day. Yep, already forgot. I'll ask you what your favorite and least favorite dinosaur films are.
I mean, I can.
Jurassic Park.
So the one thing I will default on is that it's not a very memorable film. That is true. It's not one that I'm.
Oh, I gotta go see this. Fuck you. See, like, I go to movies. I'd rather see Last Jedi again than 65.
Okay, whatever.
Like, I want something with. I'm going to feel something. I'd rather feel fucking angry than just like, oh god, that was a waste of time. I hate that. I hate paying money or using essentially my money from my Cinemark rewards that I pay for, using the movie credit I get every month to like see this. This is my thing where it's like, no, it's gotta be something. There's gotta be some kind of like, whoa, that's a hook. The trailer was a hook in the theater. When I saw the trailer, I'm like, that sounds cool. And then luckily someone I want to go see it with like, well, I can't this week. So I'm like, all right, I'll hold off. And then I see all these reviews and I'm like, oh no. That saved me. And it's like I'm just enjoying rewatching Attack on Titan right now. So
well, if nothing I've said can convince you to watch it, then that's all that there is. Not much more to say on that.
What's your favorite? Well, that's a cheat, but it's absolutely a correct answer. But whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.
Bam! Let's see some of these comments. This movie really felt like After Earth with dinosaurs.
I don't agree with that at all.
Anyone who has seen After Earth knows that this isn't a compliment.
Right.
I actually really like this movie. It just felt good watching it. It wasn't a sequel remake or bogged down in tons of forced humor. The acting was solid. The story was awesome. The tension was real. Sure, more dinosaurs would have been cool, but what they had was plenty. It was not a perfect film, but I appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah, like if I were to give it a rating, you're gonna hate me because it's like it's more around the 5 to 6 out of 10 range, but I strongly have it at that. Like it's not. I wouldn't say that that's bad. That's something that's like average movie that isn't. This was an original one. It wasn't adapted from shit. And it's like, I don't know, nothing. Okay. Everybody go see Jurassic World.
Yeah, Jurassic World really pissed me off. Like that was more enjoyable than what I'm hearing.
I guess so.
I appreciate actual like scientific thought and consistency in a plot.
So do I. I mean, that's
World was so bad that. Like, so something like that, or Velma, where it's like, let's see the shit show, and it's like, I don't even fucking like Scooby-Doo, and I'm mad for you. Like, they canceled other Scooby-Doo projects and are apparently making a second season of this show that the left and right have united to hate.
Yeah.
So it's like, how could you not see this when everyone hates it? Or it's like, well, there must be something here for everybody. As in nothing for anybody.
I guess so.
That builds intrigue for me. I got Halo vibes Halo, sorry. Or maybe Turok. I think it will do better on streaming. The kids loved it in the theaters. Well, kids are stupid, Tim. Don't listen to them.
All right, Tim. You and I are like the only people that like the movie, I guess.
You should do a cope stream together about 65. It'd be like you should do like the Alita challenge, but for 65.
Well, it's like this is my thing. The film is fine, but
no,
like,
I'm telling you, this could be like a funny thing for y'all.
Yeah.
And y'all should like make a real YouTube Twitter campaign, like a weekly thing of like do the 65 challenge, fight woke Hollywood.
Unfortunately, there's just not enough to convince people with. That is the thing. It's a 5 or 6 kind of movie where it's like
no, Ricky, you gotta be more. You're so imaginative, Ricky.
I understand where you're going with it. Where
it's like the Ghostface. I was telling you to make a Mando Ghostface video.
I'm going to make some Ghostface videos and some
about Mandalorian.
Well, I forgot about my idea. Yeah.
This is how Ghostface will enter the Star Wars cinematic universe.
He's gonna kill Baby Yoda in the next episode of The Mandalorian.
It turns out Ghostface was Bo-Katan.
Yeah. No shit. That's actually just bitch face. Ghostface is in a different episode.
How did this happen? You see that? Wait, it's only 4 minutes.
Is it possible to mess up a dinosaur movie? Like, is it achievable to take something so simply entertaining like dinosaurs and botch it? If you don't think so, we've got a lot to talk about.
No. There's so much fun dinosaur shit. It kind of really helps compensate for such a bad movie.
Okay.
Like, that's the thing, is like when you go see Jurassic World films, the first one you're like, all right, how good are they going to like follow up the first film? And it's like, not great, but everyone kind of agrees it's better than the sequels of Jurassic Park, which I actually disagree with. I think number 3 is awesome.
We need to rewatch number 2, by the way.
I don't want to watch number 2. I've watched essays about 2.
We need to watch that innocent guy get his head ripped off.
What, Vince Vaughn?
No, there's the dude that he's like doing all this work to save them, and then 2 T-Rexes come in and fucking rip. We got to watch this movie for that.
Is that one of those that we talked about where it's like you see just
it's your favorite. Innocent... It'll be your favorite death ever. Yes.
No, I hate shit like that. Like, I root for those kind of characters. Like,
no, but that's the point, because he's the character we're all rooting for. Yeah, buddy, you're doing so good. No. No.
Yeah, there's something implicitly immoral with that kind of kill. That's how you start to personify villainy in Predators, when you have scenarios like that.
Yeah, which the echoed type
makes
of thing
it engaging.
The echoed thing like that was in Jurassic World with the like nanny lady or whatever, who's like, oh, gets picked up by pterodactyls.
The kids don't even care.
And then it's like, oh god, it was probably still alive in the mosasaur's mouth, because it bit the pterodactyl's wings off. So she was still a solid hole in the mosasaur's mouth. Probably died a few minutes later. Like, oh, Jesus,
dude. I'm rewatching Attack on Titan, and I'm at the part where like Eren becomes the first Titan human that we know of in this world, and somehow I missed this the first time I watched it. They got this whole sequence where like he's in the belly. So like when he like there's a Titan's about to like kill fucking his friend Armin, who's like the weakling but smart. So he's ingenuitive for planning, but he's not a good warrior. So it's like you get a contrast there. And Eren's like gung ho because he's got this investment from the start of the show of like, these things killed my mom. I'm going to slaughter every Titan. I'm going to join the army and kill all of them. And they're finally going to battle after all this training. Now they've broken through the wall because the colossal Titans popped back up. And Eren like gets in the mouth of this Titan somehow. I don't know if he knocks Armin out of the way or what, but he gets in the mouth of this Titan. And then he's like, hey, like this moment reaching out to him. And then he gets his fucking arm bit off and he's like swallowed by the Titan. And it's like, oh God, they killed the main character. No, where's this going? And then, you know, it's revealed that he is this Titan that's killing all the other Titans. But then they cut back and they show him in the belly of a Titan. And there's like this nightmare of all these chopped up bodies of fellow soldiers in the belly. And just you saying that of like, wait, this one was just swallowed whole. It's like, God, that would suck. Because like, how are you getting out?
Yeah, it's like you're pretty much just fucked.
If you worm out and you weren't like crushed by the jaws, like not even the teeth, but just the jaws of it and its tongue, you know, pressing up on the jaw, swallowing you, Now you're just like, maybe you could worm through its intestines, but you gotta go through the acid. Is there oxygen in the belly? You know? And then you gotta go through its, shit pipes, and there's all that
like
gas.
when are you gonna suffocate? Or just like in what way are you gonna die? And like you're being killed like 50 different ways. Like
Tim, if you're still in here, I was gonna bring you on to chit chat if y'all have it together about 65 and just picking your brain.
I honestly feel kind of done talking about 65.
No.
Like
no.
That's the thing though. It's a movie I'm defending, but it's like it's not. Like, I'm not trying to just like I can't hold the torch forever. Like,
you are the standard bearer, rookie.
If nobody's gonna watch it, then nobody's gonna fucking watch it.
You are the standard bearer. You alone can save Adam Driver's career.
I will make a review, and that will be it. Like that's what I can get a lot more content out of other things. Yes, this film has less meat on it, but it's still, I think, worth a watch. But maybe a theater watch, maybe not, but
fake news.
Yeah. I think people are underselling it, but that's pretty much the only take. They are underselling the movie.
Let's see a little bit what this guy's saying. Jake Sully. Wait, how has he not used his name to like, even if he doesn't like Avatar, to like make an association with Avatar?
I was thinking of Monsters Inc. when you said that.
No, it's actually a good movie.
Because monsters make that sound.
No, I was just like, no, you can't outshine Jake Sully of Earth, the Sky People. He is the supreme Sully. Fuck you. Anyway.
What's up, guys? I'm Sully, and today we're talking about the new dinosaur sci-fi thriller 65 with Adam Driver. All you need to know about this one is that the story goes like this. After a catastrophic crash on an unknown planet, pilot Mills quickly discovers he's actually stranded on Earth,
so it's not unknown.
65 million years ago. Now, with only one chance at rescue, Mills and the only other survivor, Koa, must make their way across an unknown terrain riddled with dangerous prehistoric creatures in an epic fight to survive. So I'm sure you already know this from seeing the trailers for this one, but this movie is basically just a combination of Logan and Jurassic Park 3. Obviously has the grown man and young girl duo in the language barrier part from Logan, and the rescue mission and traversing through a hostile land full of goddamn dinosaurs part of Jurassic Park 3. And if you know me at all, you know I am a die-hard Jurassic Park 3 defender. It's my second favorite movie in that entire franchise. It's just straight to the point, quick 90 minutes, all-out action. I can't help it. I just love it. So I was looking forward to seeing that combination done again, but just throwing Adam Driver into the mix this time around. And God, I wanted to like this movie so bad, but I just can't. Maybe the biggest problem of this movie is that they made it nearly impossible for us to connect and sympathize with these two main characters in their journey. Any background information we got about Adam Driver's character was pretty rushed, and we barely got any about this young girl. Throw all of that on top of the fact that there is a language barrier
development. I think that would have improved it. Yes, that would have moved the score up quite a bit. Like if you said, like with what you said, like, oh yeah, my grandpa used to teach me this thing and then show her how to do it, and she tries to do it and she shows him something. Like, yeah, that would have improved it. I agree. I do agree.
And then like a little fairy on his shoulder says, "Now you're the grandpa."
You are the grandpa now.
I am Boba Fett.
Jesus Christ. I want to have that, like, but like Iron Man says it like that. I am Iron Man. Just like, no. So plain. So plain and boring. Just so boring. I am Boba Fett.
No, I actually like that line. Even though it's like
the delivery sounds boring. He's like, I am Boba Fett. It's just like, I don't know. It's just,
I am Boba Fett.
It's like, I'm Darth Maul.
The way your voice came out in thinking of Darth Maul, even with like Sam Witwer voicing him in the Clone Wars.
Okay.
Again.
I don't know if I can. I'm Darth Maul.
it's shit like that that's funny to me. It's like Tungi in Kung Pao. He's like,
between these two characters. They literally can't understand anything either of them are saying. And I just don't think this whole language barrier thing was used in a good way. I swear to God, man, half the dialogue in this movie is Adam Driver saying the same two English words over and over while pointing to an object, trying to get this young girl to understand what he wants her to do or what he's saying. It was like me yelling my order into a McDonald's drive-through speaker. And at least in Logan,
it could have been better. Could have been better. I do think. I like how he brought up Logan. Logan does do the language barrier a little better. Like having the character do things that show more what they mean. They do that better in Logan too.
See, I don't really get this language barrier thing. Because like, I've done a bit of Duolingo. I've been overseas, and like of course, these are two people like they're just now interacting with different language, but I feel like you already start getting like, I don't know what your fucking word is, but I understand the sounds and the association. Where it's like, let me turn on my camera. So if I did this, let me see. So if I'm like, hey, we're going to go walking.
You want to play guitar? You want to play guitar? No,
no.
No, I'm fucking
walking.
I'm trying to retard
stupidly. And then like maybe like take a few steps walking. Like, oh, so like you're going to start associating the sound I'm saying with an action. It's like a dog, like treat. You want to treat? You do this with babies. It's like they can't talk back intelligibly, but like they get what you're saying. You know what I mean? Like even on like a dog level.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And
that's why I'm saying that the language barrier thing could have been handled better, because what he's saying, I agree with him here, where he does kind of say,
or I'd be like Snuff. I'm like, we need more daddy dirt.
Right.
Daddy.
Yeah.
Daddy dirt. That's
it's
that simple.
It's like they had the concept, and I don't think they did it well.
LaCroix.
You said it right. Yes, LaCroix.
Well, because all you fucking normies, and South Park even said LaCroix. So I'm just like, I
give up. Victory.
LaCroix.
Gay.
YouTube. If you're here, I'd be pointing at this computer. YouTube. It's so simple. Like do they do anything like that? Is he ever like?
Well, like he says, like he basically says, like he has like quiet, like shush on the lips, basically, and hide.
It's universal. Just like quiet.
Yes, it's exactly like that, and basically hide. And I think he does like a few others, but I mean, there wasn't really. Again, it wasn't utilized well at all, really. So it's just like,
oh, so it sucks.
The whole movie sucks because of that entirely. Yep, this whole fucking thing.
See, look, like, not even the sci-fi of like, wait, how are there humans 65 million years ago on other planets, and they're no different? So like that's already one with science, and then language, where it's like, oh my god, it's so simple. We do it with animals.
The problem is they have great fucking stuff going on, but yeah, they like, if you know how I am with writing and with ideas, like I would take, okay, this is what we have, and now we can build more to make more substance, so it's not just as simple as this, but still simple, but it's more entertaining, more stuff to go on, so it's not just simply shush, hide, no. Like those are pretty much it. Shush, hide, no, and run are basically the words that he like has with her and hand signals, and that's pretty much it. As far as the stuff you learn with the language. But
dude, yeah, Arrival is all about a linguist trying to talk to aliens with like a totally different. They don't even like make words in a different language necessarily. They just give fucking ink blot circles, and she just has to pick up on like the finest details. And so like that's the whole movie is just a lingual movie, and when and it's more complicated than just like, oh, I'm in Afghanistan and I don't speak Pashto.
Right.
Man, that just, the more details I get, the more I'm like, God, I saved so much money and time, but I'm reinvesting it, enjoying crapping on it, not seeing it. Now I kind of get it, Now I kind of get the YouTubers that crap on stuff they don't watch. I'm finally in with you.
How they want to communicate, and they go on from there. Sure, it might not be the most realistic method ever, but it's a hell of a lot less annoying than the alternative used in 65. Now, the performances weren't bad in this thing. I feel like saying they were bad would kind of just oversimplify this whole situation, because these two actors were just not given enough to go on to deliver interesting performances. I mean, Adam Driver is still extremely watchable in this thing. He's definitely one of my favorite actors working today, but that makes a swing and a miss like this sting that much more. I think if you go into this one expecting an all-out, edge-of-your-seat action movie, you are definitely going to leave this one disappointed. This movie had a shocking amount of quiet parts to it where it's trying to pull at our heartstrings a little bit, but like I said, that character development and that father-daughter relationship just isn't where it needs to be, so none of it really paid off. I wasn't bored during this movie. I'm seeing some people saying they were bored. Even during the less actiony bits, I managed to find it semi-entertaining, but just the way this movie advertised itself to the masses, it definitely needed more action in it than it showed us. It just needed more action. The sequences we did get in here were solid, but I was just hoping they would double down. And then I don't think they really showed us an awesome variety of dinosaurs in this movie, which is what you're paying to see in the first place. Like, I wanted this to be all out Peter Jackson's King Kong. Massive
I think there
creatures,
could have been
disgusting creatures,
in general.
everything.
I want to see dinosaur movies that show more of a variety. I'm kind of tired of. Yeah, I'm okay seeing the same ones, but like I do wish there was more variety in general. And I kind of am annoyed that the T-Rex Raptor era is the only one that studios seem to take interest with. Like, I even want to see like some of the early fucking mammals that were like, the giant guinea pigs and huge bugs and shit. Like,
Rookie, look, they knew what we're talking about.
I haven't looked up anything.
YouTube. I haven't looked up anything about Planet
YouTube's
of the Apes
listening to us, fucking assholes. Like,
since we watched the Tim Burton film, and I only looked up that movie on YouTube about explanations about the sci-fi element.
It's just like with The Walking Dead on my computer. Like, I don't look up anything Walking Dead, but when you and I talking on the phone, then I'm just like refreshing the homepage. Oh, look, Walking Dead clips are coming up.
All I've been watching is Last of Us 2 and Last of Us like the games essays on YouTube, and I watched a little bit of the Nightmare on Elm Street of regular media, but yeah, somehow they're already recommended War of the Planet of the Apes, and it's like, wow. Weird.
You mentioned it once in our conversation today, and now it's recommended.
They kind of just teased us here. The directors here are the same two guys that wrote A Quiet.
All right. Anyway, toilet paper. I'll bring up that article.
Yes, toilet paper, our best friend. Our best friend indeed. It's so funny, just like having a Google search that says toilet paper conspiracy. All right, so The Great Toilet Paper Conspiracy, humor by Terry Light. And he's looking at us through there. A few months ago, I noticed a weird thing. The hollow center core of a toilet paper tube seemed to be wider than it used to be. I figured I was wrong. Trust the toilet paper companies, I thought. Going to the bathroom is sacred. They wouldn't mess with that. Besides, the central core was bigger. Why didn't the toilet paper roll look bigger? This was a subject that needed more research. We have the internet. Knowledge is limitless. My Wikipedia research that sounds funny. My Wikipedia research showed me that prior to 1999, an average roll of 1-ply layer toilet paper stretched 1,000 sheets long. 2-ply was 500 sheets long. Assume that today an average roll of 1-ply toilet paper is still 1,000 sheets long. 2-ply is 500 sheets long. In the olden days, in the olden times, prior to 1999, an average single sheet of toilet paper was 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. This theory's getting boring now. That's 20.25 square inches per sheet. Multiply that by 1,000 sheets, and you've got 20,250 square inches of paper in each roll. I didn't need the internet to see the current side of toilet paper sheet. I could measure with my own. I used one of my many trusty tape measures. Swing. One sheet in my roll of toilet paper is 4 inches wide and 3.7 inches long. That's 14.8 square inches per sheet. Multiply that by 1,000 sheets, and that's 14,800 square inches of paper of each toilet paper in the roll. That's only 2/3 of a roll of toilet paper from the olden days, 20 years ago. Measure your own toilet paper at your own risk. No wonder tubes have a larger diameter. They have to make up the fact that toilet paper rolls have less paper than before. With a larger tube, they look like they're the same size. Of course, this assumes that today 1-ply roll of toilet paper is still 1,000 sheets and 2-ply is still 500 sheets. A roll of 2-ply double roll Charmin Ultra bathroom poop tissue has only 142 sheets. Some years ago, toilet paper companies started selling double rolls and then mega rolls. Could it have begun with the size of toilet paper sheets that began to shrink? The truth is, we don't even need cores with our toilet paper. Institutions have coreless rolls of toilet paper. If that careless roll was made available for the everyday public, we would need a new centerpiece for our toilet roll dispensers. The toilet, or the old roller when at work. Maybe the toilet paper companies could sell a cordless toilet paper roll dispenser and make even more money.
If you don't know why we're reading this, Tim, it's because we watched the newer South Park episode with Randy getting a Japanese toilet, and then it becomes this whole like conspiracy theory about the toilet paper companies are like controlling you, making you buy more instead of just being clean with water.
What? Nice.
It becomes like a JFK conspiracy. Randy gets shot like JFK, and then you're expecting his son to be the next Kennedy, like Robert, and then he's like, and Randy like cuts it, he's like, no. And he's like, Dad, but like they're totally lying. He's like, yeah, I got fucking shot. Like he's like, sorry, South Park, say you're sorry. And like, we're sorry. And so they like undercut the trope of South Park of like, wow, I really learned something today. Like,
yeah, like, nope, fuck that, we're going back. Never mind. They do that in a few episodes where like Kyle gets a huge speech and then people are thinking about it, but it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go help you with that. And Kyle's like, nah, never mind, I'm actually not doing that anymore. It's like, oh, okay. Then it's done.
So it's just like using toilet paper to throw jabs at like the JFK situation to show how kind of, sketch that is, maybe.
Well, the implication was like, oh, that the Japanese toilets, they just clean your butthole with water, as to where we cut down a bunch of trees and have a whole bunch of money invested with the toilet paper. And so America is the only country that uses so much toilet paper, and it's like a huge like money laundering, like the evil business scheme or something.
Like Pfizer,
right? It's just like okay, is this ridiculous or is this fact? I don't know.
And it's like, it got me thinking, like, wow, like the idea of a bidet. We're like, ew, gross. Spraying water in my butthole.
But it comes with it comes with like a blower too to like make it dry.
Yeah, like in Bullet Train, they got like the fan for your ass after they clean you.
Yep. So it wouldn't be wet.
So it's like it's like a car wash for your butthole. Like they pressure wash it and then but does it get everything off? Like,
but it's a butt car wash. Well, your toilet paper doesn't get everything off anyway.
Even if it doesn't get everything off, it gets more than smearing poop particles on your body.
Oh yeah.
Like toilet paper isn't clean. Like baby wipes are cleaner than toilet paper.
Yeah, because they're wet. That's the thing. We have dry.
But that's for babies.
The dry toilet paper doesn't necessarily get the job done entirely. Anyway, that's what that was for.
Yeah, no, it's just made me think, like, wow. The average American buys like 140 rolls of toilet paper a year. And how many trees is that? Like, it's this whole industry of like, we don't need it. We could just wash our ass with We have the technology and we're so affluent. Why are we not doing this? Why are all the other countries, the lesser countries, better at toilet hygiene than we are?
I have a theory here. It's a variable. Since I'm a fitness guy or whatever, what is it, like 68% of America is fat or obese, at least 30 pounds overweight. And so that meaning they're eating like junk food and stuff that's going to give you more diarrhea. So you're going to use more toilet paper rather than when you eat like good carbs like beans, you're going to have like good poop. That makes sense. Like pinto beans or black beans. I name off others, but like
they just have better shit than us.
Yeah, it's more quality and it's not going to be like as messy. It's going to be more controlled, I guess. So that'd be my only argument for there. Because aren't the other countries a lot more healthier than us? Because obesity is a huge problem in the United States compared to like other countries. We're the fattest country.
Sounds like we need the bidets more than ever now to keep our assholes even cleaner. Like I'm getting out of that.
Yeah.
No, like the episode was funny, but made me actually think of like, wait,
it's like,
yeah, sure. There's the military industrial complex. There's like, big pharma, big agro.
It's like, is it really silly, or are they onto something?
Yeah, like I can't wait till like 20 years from now. It's like, back in my day, we just used a roll of Charmin. You got all these fancy Japanese toilets now. Like, it's like, wow, South Park really kickstarted something.
Now I want to do research on that. Like I'm interested in that. But like the gas stations will never adopt that. Maybe it'd be like a home premium. At your home will have it, and then like the fancier restaurants will have it. But,
gas stations will like make you pay to go into the bathroom. It'd be like a toll. It'd be, $5, but you can have the bidet toilet or you have the normal shit toilet or something. And it's like, oh, there's no toilet paper in there. Oh, well, I guess you got hands or use your socks or something. I don't know. Or you can just use the bidet for $4 extra.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway. Could be a new industry right here.
Yeah. Anyway, what's up, Tim?
What's up? Thanks for having me on. I know soon as I like popped on, you guys were talking about it, and like Rookie mentioned, we're like the only people that were watching it.
Yeah, we're the only ones that enjoyed it. It seems. I think it's more like, I don't think it's like an amazing film. I have it at like a 5 or 6 ranking, but to me that's like average, or just like right around there. What I'd say. It's fine, and because it's an original film, it's it's very small cast. It's like, it's not as horrible as I think a lot of people are saying, but I do think there's a lot they could do to make it better. Hell yeah, there's a lot they could do to make it better, but still got a lot of good qualities for it.
Yeah, there's definitely something missing. I gave it about like a 7. Like even Black Angus knows Catherine. I did a non-spoiler review with her, but we kind of got into light spoilers or whatever, and even she said it was like, all right. And I think the hype was, I never thought, like, people were saying this was like one of the most anticipated films of all this year, and I was like, what? I had never had that high.
I never heard people talk about it prior, like, oh, I'm so hyped to see 65. Like, nobody is talking about it before.
Yeah, like some of these reviewers, like you, I watched Jeremy Johns and some of these others just to see what they were saying, and I was like, okay, I disagree with them 100%, like, or most of their takes. And I know it was written by the people that did A Quiet Place, and
awesome.
And the producer was Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
So I can get the expectation on there, but I don't think every film needs to be super complex. A simplistic story can work. Like, even look at Jaws. That was a simplistic story to me, and it worked. And people were wanting the end to be like Inception or time travel, and they want a little bit more to it, which I agree. That could have made it.
Yeah, those are good films too, but it's like it's like not every, like you said, not every film needs to be that level of complex, which is what I'm getting at too. It's like, I enjoy ones with more depth all the time, but I don't mind that. But does one need to have all these different elements to make it good? I don't know. This film is a good challenge of how much do you need to keep people engaged, and more. I guess it needs more to keep most people engaged. Yeah, there's no scenes of guy and driver going more.
Yeah, I know, right?
More.
Yeah, I get it. It's only a 90-minute movie, and they only spent like about $50 million on the budget, and same for the marketing. So they didn't put much into this film. So what they put into this film, I thought it was at least good for the fact that how much they put in this film. Yes, the dinosaurs could have looked better, but like for the most part, for that budget, and I like the fact they don't look exactly like Jurassic Park or World. And I appreciate the fact because they were kind of a little different. Like even the T-Rex type thing had longer arms and moved different, which
It looked like a very different species.
yeah, and I appreciated that. And then the fact that like I agree that there should have been more dinosaurs, but my only counter to that, they were trying to hide and evade stuff, but even like the little creatures were getting at them even when they were sleeping. But even I was like, we could have seen more dinosaurs, and every dinosaur was kind of like a carnivore in a way rather than being non-friendly. Rather, besides that dinosaur that was in the oil deposit in the
Well, yeah,
little
I
girl's
love that.
footnote.
Oh, let's save the dinosaur, the little baby dinosaur. They save it and then gets eaten by raptors immediately.
yeah, it was great. No, and like far as like the character growth, I see this argument. I don't really necessarily agree on that fact too, because the child, she was like this scared little girl, and the circumstances put her in a situation. You can either sit there and cry and have trauma in the corner, or kind of grow, which she did kind of towards the end. It has payout. They don't always use the gun. They use like the stuff on the planet to kill the end boss or the end dinosaur.
He has to be kind of resourceful. He has very limited tools with this run. They're trying to get from point A to point B here, but yeah, he can't just bring all his stuff with him, all his technology. So he's got like a backpack. He's got his gun, got a couple of grenade things, and like a knife, like and flashlight, water bottle. Like he's going for a hike.
I mean, he is
not exactly equipped to battle a shit ton of dinosaurs, but still ends up having to deal with them.
Yeah, and what I like, they tie that in like the spring thing at the start of the movie, and then they have it like kind of as a finisher. Like there was like a purpose of that, and with the berries thing with the little kid, I liked that. She was like, no, like because she couldn't speak English and she was learning in English, so I did like that barrier. And then like Adam's driver was a little bit more. Yeah, he's a family man, but he was a little bit more callous towards her because he was thinking more like a soldier. But he's like, we're not going to move or make progress unless I act more friendly and be more of like a father figure, because she is a scared little girl. And there's a really great moment in there where he puts the flower on the hair, and they're not going to move. She's like, no, I got this flower for you.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny father-daughter type of moments that you would see for developing. It's not, it's not super complex. It's not holy fuck, look at the in-depthness that's going on here. It's like just like some of it's pretty simple in that way.
And I think which I kind of enjoyed, like it was like The Last of Us, kind of like the Mandalorian, the adopted daughter situation into this. And I think people were just expecting this to be like a full out like dinosaur rage movie where like there's dinosaurs everywhere and he's just taking out like multiple creatures. But then again, like everyone, he has to hide behind the scenes and be smart, and they were kind of trying to implement the quiet place things, and
he gets injured at one point pretty badly and needs help to kind of get his shoulder back in place before getting there. I mean, that was, and it's like that wasn't, a lot of his injuries weren't even caused by the dinosaurs, it was by the environment. Like that's, and when he gets cornered into that little cave area after they try to get away from the T-Rex looking thing, like there's freaking raptors in there and got to deal with them in the dark. And it's like they get separated, and it's like, well, how long is she going to be able to last out here by herself without him? And how long is he going to be in there? Can he get out? Like what? There's a lot of little things there. Not super like, whoa, my brain is blown with the compellingness of this, but it's still like basic stuff. It kind of like what you'd get from The Quiet Place a little with some of the scenes. Some of them are, I'd say it's done again way better in other movies that we're comparing to, but this has enough of the pieces to make it, I'd say, watchable. It's not like it's this is just a poop movie that is too bland for Angus. I think it would satisfy enough, but now that you've heard so many people's opinions about it, it's like, well, now it's the kind of one where you'll go in with just all this stuff in mind, and it's like, well, I don't know what I could say to make you watch it, because like it would have had to been one that I think if you watched it without any influence, you would have liked it, but you probably wouldn't be like, this was so fucking awesome either, because it's not so fucking awesome. It's fine. It's decent, but it's like I don't know the boring. It's so boring. They just one of the people we looked at said they just walked from one place to the other, and I'm like, you know what? Walking was their mode of transportation, yes, but that's like, yeah, you know, Joel and Ellie just walked to the hospital, and then did from episode 1 to the last episode. Frodo and Sam just walked to Mordor. Yeah, they like, yeah, no shit, but that's a really misinterpretation of what happened.
I think it's a bad criticism because it's like, even I know like this Andor was divisive, and I actually like most of Andor, but I think like they should have cut down 2 episodes, and they could have had a little bit more Star Wars isms in it. Agree on that, but like to me, there was actually real character emotion between Malls and whatever the stepdaughter. I'm just gonna call her stepdaughter. There was real emotion because like the scene where he gets stuck in the sand or whatever, they're both relying on each other. He's chasing after her after he loses her. Like in that mountain scene where the rocks kind of fall, he thinks she's dead, but then here she's alive, but then they get disconnected. He hears her voice, she's in trouble, and then she uses those bombs to kill the little raptor things, and then she comes, saves him reluctantly, and then he like hugs her. And I thought that was a real good moment because she saved him, because she's kind of becoming like a little bit smarter on the situation. But no, I think what would have helped it to make it a little bit more interesting or compelling to have like other characters in it that survived or secretly survived, that they join, maybe one be evil, or just like have other characters that died to put a little bit more stakes on it. Because did we really like, they tease Adam Driver dying at the end, but I didn't really think he was going to die, and I didn't think the little girl was ever going to die. So maybe adding more characters into it. Again, the budget was so small, so like,
yeah, I feel like the fleshing out of his about his and her character is the problem. Like there wasn't enough, like even like of him talking about something or showing her something, like that type of development wasn't. I feel like that could have been a little bit stronger to accomplish more than one thing. Like even the way that he's communicating with her, I like that they're doing that, but I think that could have been done better as well. It seemed like a first step in how you could do it, but could have been more interesting with choices they could have done with it. Is all I'd say with that.
Yeah.
But
and like they could have explained a little bit more on his backstory. We just see him on this different planet, and he's kind of going to Earth, and like he just seems like a UPS man, and he's delivering.
Yeah, I call them the space. I call him the space bus driver. He's delivering. He's transporting carbonite people to another planet. That's the context.
Yeah, they should explain his kind of military-esque background, because he seemed like he knew what he was doing. Like he was well trained. He's been through some stuff, but a little some.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. The more we add, the more this film improves. Is the whole gist here. It's like they had so little as far as the main. I feel like they really tried to go with, this is the barest minimum we can do for an okay movie. Is how I'd call it. Like there's some meat off the bone, but for to add more to it, then just be better. Adding anything would probably make it better for most people that watched it. But still
sidetrack a bit. But Tim, what are you thinking of The Mandalorian? Did you see the new episode?
Yeah. Okay. So this is kind of the first episode where I'm like, what are they doing? I'm not saying I hated it. Like I did a watch party on it, and then I've watched it again, and I'll probably watch it one more time before Sunday's panel review on that. Like I always try to watch it a couple times because maybe it's something I didn't see, and but it was 2 different shows in one. It was like very Andor-esque, and then it was like Mandalorian at the start and Mandalorian at the end, and then like in between, that was just like way too long. I felt like
really,
yeah, but I mean it's not. I don't think it's bad. Sure, I can nitpick on some parts. At the end, it's like they let what's her face, Alaya or whatever. She's kind of this double agent character for Moff Gideon, and she's just kind of left alone to like on the controls, and she cranks it up. Yeah, it's like shows how evil she is, but like they leave her alone, so I can nitpick at that part. And but it just like I knew she was going to double cross him. Like I think that in that aspect it was predictable, but I did like seeing how beautiful Coruscant looked. And then, but like I saw the parallel they were trying to get across that, you know, the New Republic is just like the Empire, but they kind of word things differently. Like as far as when we get to like the memory wiping thing, oh no, it's just soft for voltage, and the doctor's like, no, I'll use it. It's actually kind of relaxing, and so I don't know. I'm kind of divided on it. Like I liked the setup on it, and I actually did like the TED Talk moment with Perkins or Pershings or whatever, where he's explaining the clone technology and how he's kind of like it's very kind of controversial, but he thinks he can do good with it. So to me, it was just kind of like I think most general fans are just going to be kind of like, man, this episode was kind of boring. And I think it was somewhat boring, but like, I don't know. I'm just kind of confused by what they're doing, and hopefully they have payouts for it some sort.
Yeah, I'm completely opposite. The first 2 episodes, I'm like, oh, they've lost me.
Oh.
I'm just watching this to stay current, but like they've lost me. And then this episode where it's like, wow, they're actually like really building the sequel era, giving us meat to the universe instead of just like, oh yeah, Rebels and Empire again, and the new Sith, but they're totally not Sith. Wink, wink. The idea of like, oh, we're going to put you through a re-education program, and then it's like, oh no, we're not doing any of that. No way. The Empire did that. We're not going to do any. And it's like they're setting the like actual valuable information about the shortcomings of the New Republic and how like they're already on shaky ground with their resolve through like this one character and his specific line of work and his motivation. And also like he's been in this plot before, tied with Baby Yoda and cloning. We know where that will go eventually with Palpatine, and we're getting like an in-between that is meaningful, just for like information, giving us context for this world. I really like that. And the Mando shootout with Bo-Katan and the TIE Interceptors is cool, like collision of 2 eras of Star Wars, of prequel and original. That's just visually really cool. It looks great. How they're blending the cockpit real footage with like the CGI, all looks great. But I wasn't like bombarded with just too much crap. So like that was fine. Feels kind of weird that Bo-Katan's buying into this Death Watch cult. But maybe it's like, well, I am desperate for allies, so I'm just gonna go along with this for the time being. We'll see where that goes. Like I was telling Rookie this whole like never take your mask off for the Death Watch, and it's like, well, what if you like marry another Mandalorian? Like, how does that work? It's like, do you
just
constantly
you
still gotta
just bump
wear
helmets.
your mask?
Keep the mask on.
You have an ejaculation tube to hand each other or something.
And like the whole mythosaur crap in the other episode, I don't care. Whoop-de-doo. It was so underwhelming. Like they built it up in Boba Fett, like this whole Mines of Mandalore, the Mines of Moria, you know, like this is going to be a long journey to get here, and he's going to like have stumbling blocks before that, and it's like, oh yeah, he just like fell in the water, and then she saves him, and that's it. And oh, we saw a mythosaur, I guess they're real. Whatever. Like it's just so underwhelming. Baby Yoda, I love Baby Yoda, but like him in this plot now with like having some force training and whatnot with Luke feels like a get out of jail card now, instead of like, all right, Mando is like a skilled warrior, has various weapons in combat skills, but he's only human, versus here's his companion, a force sensitive baby, so like he can do great stuff, but he'll also like get tuckered out, you know, kind of like Luke dying from the I used too much force. But it's like, oh, he's a baby, so okay, whatever. Cool, you get like a contrast of powers, but like like how do you say power reserve for both characters, where it's like Mando has a full power reserve within the confines of being a human, you know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah.
like a pull contrast there of it's like Kratos and the kid, where it's like the kid can't fucking really combat these monsters you're fighting, but he can like be on the sidelines and like shoot arrows to distract them and ping them. And I'm like, okay, cool. But yeah, like the whole like cyborg not Grievous thing,
Oh.
Magna Guard, like awful, stupid Spy Kid eye on it. I hated it. Like the way they've set this up where it's like, oh, like Mandalore's been decimated and here's where the mine is. So it's like a bit of a journey once you're on Mandalore to get through the mine because of the indigenous that will attack you and the other creatures, like the little pterodactyl things. Fine. But when you think about, well, this was here when Mandalore was just A-okay. And it's like, well, I could just walk there and probably not a problem. So why is this even a challenge or a journey that you have to take for forgiveness in the Death Watch? It seems like it wouldn't really be a challenge. So just completely underwhelmed. And then episode 3 with this tangent of the doctor and the whole like misgivings, I would say, about the New Republic and how they're kind of like The Last of Us, where Kathleen and her regime, the rebels that undermine the Fedra, where it's like Druckmann talked about, like sometimes revolutionaries are worse than the people they overthrow. And that's what I'm getting from this plot. And then also the intrigue of like, oh, Moff Gideon, he's escaped and she double crosses him. That was always something I was worried about from the start. It was like, all right, is she gonna like double cross him or is she actually like helping him? And then it's like, oh, double cross. And then I guess she like mind wipes him, or I don't know if that kills him or what. We'll find out. But I really like this like veering from the Mando plot. I liked. It's like in Boba Fett. And it's like after the first 4 episodes, which I'm like invested in, and then we cut to Mando, and we come back, and it's just a stupid schlog on Tatooine, where it's like, man, this totally undermined everything I was enjoying about Boba Fett. That's how I'm feeling about but Mandalorian season 3, but in reverse, where it's like I don't give a fuck about the Mando plot now, but I'm really liking this like people in this world. You're actually getting like some nuance where it's like, oh, the good guys, the New Republic, actually they're kind of bad.
Yeah.
I like this. Like I like dirtying up these simple black and white templates. And so yeah, I'm just totally in my own little corner of this fandom for this show now.
No, actually, my friend Dan actually agrees with a lot of your takes. He messaged me earlier today because that's who I've been co-hosting with, and he was like, he said he wasn't really buying on these first 2 episodes, but you're not alone. There's some other people. That
Wait,
think
who is this guy? Let me I'll have to hit him up.
Yeah, he didn't like the first 2 episodes really, and we've been ranking Dan from Inside the Booth, but this episode he didn't. He thought it was boring. So like, but like the thoughts on the first 2 episodes, he's right there with you. So
interesting.
Yeah, and there's I forget. There's one other person too, but I forgot. Someone else reviewed this, and they really liked this episode. And I watched it. I was like, oh, okay, interesting. But yeah, I agree with you on the fact that they are opening up this universe. It seems a lot bigger rather than like kind of centered around Mando, because it's like now what's actually going on? Like right now they're trying to reestablish Mandalore, and it's significant that Bo saw the mythosaurs because that kind of gives her hope. I think Bo Katan or Bo Karen, which I've been calling her.
Bo Karen.
Yeah. No, I think that she's playing like 2 cards. Technically, she did get cleansed in the water, so I think she's like at this point, she's kind of an opportunist, and she's kind of rolling with the crew for now. And I think at some point, her and the armor are going to clash. So I don't know if Bo's intentions are the most pure right now.
Like their titties will clash.
I don't know the ideologies eventually, because she called like Mando and all that like
I want to see their
cultist.
ideologies clash. Wink,
Yeah.
wink.
But no, I do. And uh with the cloning stuff, I also took it their Palpatine was all into the cloning, and the Sith were only the really ones with that technology later on, because they killed off the Camoans or destroyed their planet. And then because it's all about control, and then this was like the last dude that was wanted to be good, and he's on the New Republic, and everyone's kind of against cloning on the New Republic. And the Empire, or like the people that are left, see it as an advantage. And even like Dr. Pershing or whatever, the guy that knows about the technology, he sees it as an advantage. He's like, I can really help. And he's kind of struggling with it when he talks to that droid therapist character. You know, he says like, if you can help the New Republic in any sort of way, would you do it? And he says, kind of says, yes, I would do it. And he's like, okay. And then he kind of leaves. So he's kind of the last person that knows that technology. So I took it as like Moff Gideon's like, all right, let's take this dude out. He's kind of he's not with us, and then this will give the Empire an advantage moving forward. So we have Tim on the Bo Karen train.
I was gonna kick out a Stone. He says, "Mandalorian sex is so boring. It's all consensual." Oh, Stony McInternet douche. Oh, the Karen train. That's good. Sometimes it's hard. Like I'll hear something. Like if someone reads something, it's like, okay, I need to actually read it myself to like take it in most of the time.
I get you.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm just underwhelmed in the weirdest way of the show. Most people are like, oh no, it's going to the sequel trilogy, or it's like they said this when they started the show before we ever saw anything. Favreau said like, oh, the sequel's in such a wide area to play with in between the trilogies. So like, what did you think? This is not a shock. And also Mandalorian season 2, Luke's temple, that's the temple that gets burned by fucking Kylo. So
yeah,
this whole like repeated fake shock of it's going to be into the sequels. It's like, yeah, it's Star Wars. They're not doing other timelines. It's all one timeline. Shut up.
Yeah, that's what the problem is right now. I see like other channels reporting this, and then like everyone's making a big deal like, oh, Kylo Ren's helmet is not in like the intro for the show. They show everyone else's helmet except Kylo Ren. Does that mean they're erasing sequel trilogy? And then like we had like
some
I know
shit.
Yeah, but and then like it was like kind of like other people were like all set on like, no, they weren't erasing the sequel trilogy. It's all going to be about Rey and Grogu for the next trilogy. And then like you see the same like kind of sphere or group or whatever, I'm speaking broad here, saying, oh no, you know, I don't know, like kind of contradicting what they were saying like 2 weeks ago. It's like, didn't you just like have like a stream
That's
about
what,
this?
yeah. When I talk about grifters, that's what I mean. It's not
Yeah.
that like they have they have like a shit. It's that like they literally will like play both sides and act like, well, I always said this. Or you know, it's like if you say both things, then yeah, you're going to be right one way or the other. Like, and there's never retraction. And then when people find like a Doomcock video I've done, and we're like, well, Doomcock always says take anything he says with a grain of salt. It's like, but when he repeatedly sells you this hope in this fandom about X thing purposely, and then it's shown to be a lie, and then he still says things in this vein, like that's a grifter.
Yeah, I agree. I want to
I don't know.
bit more.
I come into YouTube, and I know that's crazy, I guess, but like with movie talk and reviews and whatnot, like, yeah, I have my subjective takes and preferences, but like actually like talking about like what's in a film or adaptation or whatever, like with Last of Us, I don't give a fuck about homophobia and the alphabet, all these like outrage discussions in the modern day. But when I see a show, it's based on a game of a gay character. And before this fandom or like our sphere of fandom was like, oh, what they're doing with Last of Us 2 and the leaks and attacking YouTubers, and we just want you to respect the characters that you've made and we fell in love with. And then they adapt it. Like, that's one argument. It's like, okay, sure. But then they adapt it, having said you liked them, and then they adapt it just like it, for the most part. They did stuff different with Bill and Frank. But, you know, and then you're like harping about the sodomites and don't let your kids see it. And it's like, what do you, why did you ever watch this? Why did you ever play this? Like, I don't get it. It definitely just boggles the mind for me. Where I don't know. It's like no integrity. Like, I don't know. That's how I go about stuff. It's like, what I'm telling you is like my thoughts, and I'm not going to like backtrack unless I'm showing like something hard to like like I had Robert Storms on like a year or two ago, and the whole perception of like the entire fan was like, oh, Ray's Mary Sue, she's never flown, and now she's like a super pilot. And then it's like, well, like, here's a line in the film, look at the subtitles. She's like, well, I've flown, but never like out of the planet. And, you know, it's like, oh, okay. So she actually does have in context, you know, awareness of flying. So it's not just a Mary Sue. It's like, okay, we were wrong about that point of her Mary Sue-ness.
Yeah. And there is massive inconsistency in Star Wars too, in general. Like The Force Awakens, like Kylo kind of, he let his guard down. He's kind of like trying to convert her over to the dark side, and he kind of lets his guard down and then gets cut in the face. And yeah, she's been like fighting all of her life, and maybe she wasn't using the Force. And then like, yeah, Finn kind of using, he gets his butt beat by like a normal stormtrooper in that scene before. And then like he's wielding this lightsaber, and it just like, and then they have with the Knights of Ren, they are in the comic thing that they had, they made them Force sensitive, but not, but their training wasn't complete or something like they said. And so that's why they didn't use lightsabers. They used these kind of like anime weapons that were also pretty lethal. But then like you have Luke, the time passage in like the original trilogy, I think it's 4 years. It's you know, he didn't train all of his life like Anakin. And so you can kind of make up like, okay, Luke was a little bit OP in himself in a way too. But then granted, I think Darth Vader kind of, he was conflicted. And so he wasn't battling at full potential against Luke in the second battle. And he was like, also, you know, Darth Vader's older and probably hurting from his wounds and stuff. But like Luke only trained for like 4 years, right? In the OG trilogy, you know, Rey, the argument's a little bit weaker. All these films took place within like a year, within like 2 years or so. So, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a mess for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like Mandalorians can duel a Darksaber. I know the Darksaber is different. You got to be like to use it properly, both mind and body connection and all that. But lightsabers, anyone can just grab a lightsaber and kind of wield it, like Rey and you know, General Grievous is not you know, a Force user. I guess I know he's robotic. So what's kind of the rules on that? Like,
what, there's people using a lightsaber?
Yeah.
Well, it seemed like the lightsaber's just like a technical device essentially. So I don't see why people wouldn't be able. I feel like it'd be difficult to wield it well if you have one, because of how much it can kill you as well as the opponent. So it's a weapon not to be handled lightly.
Yeah, and I know like Kylo in Force Awakens was injured, but he's still moving pretty well. I feel like because of plot armor, Finn lived. I feel like Kylo Ren could have just like used the Force and just choked him, like slashed his head or stabbed him. And then like Rey to me was a little bit different because he was like, he got like, you know, there were dyads in the Force or whatever. He got a Force boner or whatever. And he was like, oh my gosh, the first girl that's you know, a consensus like kind of Force sensitive, and he was kind of trying to turn her.
Stop it, Rey! You're awakening the Force.
Yeah, that's the real Force Awakens, right? But then I agree on the other part. Like, I don't think she told the stormtrooper when they're in the ship, you know, to let her loose. I thought that was a little far fetched, but then I don't know. It just then again, do they really have to learn everything? You can just learn something naturally?
Yeah. Wait, Stoney says something. Grievous is a cyborg. The metal is part of his body, so it's less restrictive to force use than normal armor is like Vader. It's still a nerf, but not complete nullification. I don't know. From my understanding, like Grievous is just not a force user. He just learned Jedi combat. So the fact that he beats force users in their own form of combat, it makes them badass. And I wish they would have like shown that'd be like an addition that would have been cool for Revenge of the Sith, is like give some Jedi interaction before with Grievous, like maybe like show some mission before, whether it was with Anakin and Obi-Wan or either one of them. Well, maybe Obi-Wan. I don't know. Especially the Clone Wars, that makes it because it seems in that film it's like the first time meeting this guy. At least for Anakin, for sure. But then in the Clone Wars, like, oh, they've come across him multiple times, and it's that's an irritating inconsistency. But I don't know. Like overall, those are kind of consistencies are I can overlook it.
What about like the pod racing thing? How like they say it's only like these alien species can will to do pod racing, but then you have like you have humans like amazing fires at the X-wings, so they can do X-wings, but they can't do pod racing.
I think it's just the how fast it's going on a planet and the obstacles versus flying like in space is the difference, where it's like humans don't have a perception at that speed to react properly, is the idea. That's like the subtext of the pod race is like Anakin is gifted. That's why he can do this. That's the purpose of that, on top of like the bet that they place on the race on this kid that should not be able to compete. He's never finished a race.
Gotcha. Yeah, you think like then like the rebels or anyone else like on the good side would recruit some of these alien people to fly these X-wings if they're so skilled. You know what I mean? Like, or do you think like that none of the people that fly the X-wings would never want to do pod racing, or like someone like Han Solo, which is a great pilot? Do you think he would be able to drive a pod racing? Or
seems like they wouldn't. Seems like they wouldn't really want to. It's a backwater planet to them, so I don't know. Joel big gangsters.
Yeah, that's true. And riot racing,
risky. So it's just like, do we need to be there? Depends.
Yeah.
Are you anticipating the next episode of Mando, or are you in this kind of like, well, I'll watch it, but I'm not invested? Where are you?
I'm invested. Like I've liked the first 2 episodes. If they, it's. Obviously it's content. I got to get my watch hours up, so that's why I'm still covering Bad Batch kind of at the start of it. So
is anyone even watching Bad Batch? Like, I don't see anyone talking about Bad Batch.
It doesn't. It doesn't feel like it. But like the episode before the post office. It's not called the post office, but I don't know. It's called something the Post or something with Crosshair. It was really good. That character's my favorite out of the Bad Batch. But yeah, I feel like my viewership was way down when I was covering it. I was like, no one's really watching this show. But like the Mandalorian, I feel like it's different, even if it's like bad, like Obi-Wan. People are going to watch it, and I don't think this last episode was bad. It's just kind of not my favorite. But
what I was going to say about the last episode is, on top of like all the things I was saying that I enjoy, I also enjoy that like with Boba Fett. I really appreciate that, especially the first 4 episodes. They tried to do. They could have just gone like, oh, he's on a mission. He's got his armor and pew, pew, pow. And he's got a flamethrower and his rocket launcher. And he's flying as his jetpack. And no, they told like a more personal story of like him reforming himself. And especially with the characters only got like 7 minutes on screen in the films. He's pretty much a clean slate, especially with like doing this rebirth idea. So I thought that was pretty smart and subverting expectations, a famous line in the YouTube fandom. And same with this. I really appreciate that, like, they're not overwhelming us with just stupid Star Wars member berries and action. That, like, they're actually building something and it's restrained, because they could just go full bore stupid with just eye candy stuff that most people are like, yes, and they'll clap like seals for it. But it really, like the Darth Vader scene in Rogue One, awesome scene, but it really doesn't, besides like the twist of like, oh, this is right before A New Hope. Wow. Like, ultimately the Darth Vader scene is like, well, we're finally doing Vader justice for his full potential with the full ability of like CGI and whatnot, like modern film. But yeah, it's kind of ultimately substanceless. It's just, that was cool looking,
Yeah.
The fact that they're not doing that with this episode, I really appreciate that. Yeah, there's like the fight scenes in the starfighters, but that's like standard fare. It's not like over the top.
Yeah, and I think they explained that pretty well because Bo-Katan like stole people's ships in what was it, the Book of Boba Fett? So, or like earlier, she was stealing people's ships. So I think it kind of made sense for like the Empire to kind of be chasing after her, and then they destroyed her home. So, I think it kind of made sense.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, another thing though, with the space pirates, that's kind of like a side questy thing. But when they're going to go back to Navarro 7, where we have Carl Weathers' character, or like, my problem with like the whole droid thing, right? I like the first 2 episodes for sure, but like, obviously I like the second episode better than the first one. I think they should have dropped 2 episodes instead and come out with a bang, because the first episode was a lot of setup but no real payouts to me, but it was setting up a lot of stuff. But like the whole thing with IG seemed kind of pointless, and then you kind of undid his arc, right? In Mandalorian season 2, and then
I think it's fine because he's a fucking robot. So like,
yeah,
it's not like if Quill, like if they did that with Quill, or like they like shellacked his body and made a statue, and he's like, I need that guy, and it's like, what? He's out of like, he's dead, and like, I don't care.
I guess it's the placement of the detonator on the droid, though. It's like in its torso, it blows up, but then it's like, oh, the upper body's totally fine. It's like, well, that's weird.
Yeah.
And it was in lava or something. So,
well, my issue like is later on when he in episode 3 or no, in episode 2, when they go to Tatooine to meet with Pelimoto. And he's like, no, I gotta have this droid. She's like, no, I got this droid. It was a R5D4 droid. And he's like, he just takes it. And he's like, yeah, I don't need like a warrior droid. I just need someone to take samples. I thought he was more so, yeah, that was like the first droid he trusted. And that kind of showed his arc of like trusting droids. And then he allows like Pelimoto's droids to work on his ship, but before he didn't. But like, it's just like, why, like the first half of that episode, he's just like, I want that droid or whatever, and he was all reluctant on that. It's like, just get a new droid. So, hopefully when he comes back to Pelimoto and Tatooine, they have some payout. Like, hey, I did find that part for you, and then they can go back to the Babu Freak stuff, which I did like the Babu Freak. Like, I know,
yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah, it was funny. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll definitely keep watching, but it's not like I'm anticipating like, fuck, I gotta get up at 3 a.m. I gotta watch Star Wars. Like, even with stupid Boba Fett ending, it was like, hey, at least they're like going out with a bang for this show, however dumb it is. It felt like they were trying to entertain me. And this one, it's like, it's kind of, it's so fun. Maybe they're getting a problem like The Boys season 3, because me and Ricky were loving The Boys season 3, but like there's certain episodes that's like, where's this going? Because it feels disjointed. But then like it all tied together at the last couple episodes. They brought all these threads together. But I think maybe this is a problem with like building a story, the more characters, then you got to go on like tangents that will be tonally just so different where it will feel disjointed, even if it is coherent plot and build up. That like, all right, we gotta do the groundwork here at this episode, and then go over here for this, and totally forgetting about what we just watched, and that might be. And so the fact that they like bookended with Mando stuff for this more like Blade Runner kind of episode, I'm totally fine with that. I can deal with that. But yeah,
good.
It's getting late and I gotta go to work in the morning.
Right.
So I was gonna close out the stream. But no, I'd like to have you on again, of course. You know, we're buddies.
Sure.
So yeah, what movie are you gonna see next? You gonna go see Shazam?
Yeah, I was going to see it tonight. I was debating on it. I was like, you know what? I really enjoyed the first Shazam. I did. But like this one's not tracking very well and the reviews are divisive. But I've heard like some people I follow say they actually thought it was good. My turnoff is this may come off a little wrong here, but like the villains are both like grandmas, and I'm just like, okay, come on.
Oh, you youngsters trying to be superheroes. That's so cute.
Yeah, but then there's other older people like Nick Fury, but like when you see Nick Fury run, Samuel L. Jackson, he looks old, but like it's gonna be CGI fest and stuff. So I'm gonna go see it tomorrow evening. I got a eye appointment tomorrow, so I am gonna go see it. And Monday, if you guys go see it, let me know. I'll probably do unless it's probably just gonna be me. I'm gonna do the box office. And I know the budget's not super huge for this. Like it's not $200 million, like between 100 and 125. So I might do a stream on Monday talking about that, and then just do like more of a lighter review. And then if you guys I don't know your schedule on Sundays. Always looking for new guests to talk about Mandalorian. We've been doing it at 8:30 on Mondays, and we talked about Bad Batch the first half.
I'll be off Sundays, so I can do that. What time?
8:30. If you need to come on later, like I know the Bad Batch, we cover that the first half hour. We kind of glance through it, then we move on to the Mandalorian. So, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Ricky, anything coming up?
I'm gonna see John Wick 4, and I'm making a bunch of Scream videos soon, and 165 video, and yeah, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, John Wick, especially on
Ricky. I'm gonna see John Wick that's next weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. So
yeah, John Wick's one of those weird. That's one of those weird ones for me where it's like I really love the first two, and then rewatching two, I'm like, fuck. Actually, this one isn't that good either. But 3 was just a fucking bore for me. Like even in the theater, not even thinking about it, just watching it straight. I'm like, this is going on. This plot's getting stupid. As much as I love like the action and like the length of the action scenes, they're not doing lots of cuts, that they're really showing off. Like it's one dimensional.
People want John Wick 3 in 65. That's what they want.
I don't want either of those. That's where I'm at. I just want to watch like House of Dragon and just people talking about like my family,
Well, John Wick 4 is supposed to be like 3 hours long or something.
Oh my god!
What?
Yeah, definitely not seeing that shit. I'll have to wait till streaming and just chunk it.
Bummer.
I'll have to watch like 30-minute chunks. Like, all right, I got through that part.
Oh man, what are they gonna do? Like, just out here.
Ultimately, here's my problem: is that they set up where it's like, all right, this is like secret assassins. So you think like they're far and few between and very specialized, top of their game. And it's like, all right, here's like a hub in New York. Cool. And then you get like, all right, there's like some hubs across the globe. But then it's like all of Central Park is just full of assassins ready to kill you. And we're just giving you like a day's head start. And then the next film is just globetrotting. And like everyone he comes across is a fucking assassin. It's like, they don't know he's going there, but assassins are ready. And it's like, are you what? This totally waters down the value of like this whole underground network.
Yeah.
Where it's like every person I see on screen, I'm just going to assume is a fucking assassin now. or in the like a cog in the wheel of the assassin organization. And so it's just totally underwhelming, and you don't have enough of a story to make me, because the whole story is just like, all right, he got out of this because he had a wife, and then she died, and then she left him a gift. It was a dog. The dog gets killed. That's his his quest for revenge isn't just the dog, it's like what the dog meant. So it's like, it's the last thing from his dead wife. So there's an investment there before he even really bonded with this dog very much. So like it's the principle really. And because he does this, he's got to you can't double dip. So now he's open game, cool. And that's about it. This whole series just like stuck on that first movie's premise. And that's my problem, on top of like everyone's a fucking assassin everywhere we go. It's watered down, and it only has like the action. It has no story. I don't know anything about John Wick besides he's really skilled at killing people, even with books and pencils and shit. Cool. But like, you can only do so much of that without a story. And there's nothing I'm emotionally invested with John Wick. If anything, you could kill him and be like, all right, this guy's going to get revenge for John Wick. And you just keep going without John Wick even. It's kind of pointless. And I'm really irritated, actually, because I really would just love to be invested in this. But a fourth one, and it's 3 hours, and it's just more of this shit. I can't.
He's got to kill Shazam in the next John Wick.
I would love John Wick to kill Shazam. Fuck Shazam.
Yeah. Well, John, the only thing that like really get me to go to this is Donnie Yen is in this, and he's like a master martial artist.
Ooh,
but
interesting.
2 hours, yeah. But 2 hours and 49 minutes. I just looked at the runtime. That is a little bit steep, and it takes freaking 23 minutes of trailers and Nicole Kidman looking, telling us like, "Come to AMC. We're already here, lady. Let's just start the movie."
You're like, yeah, we know. Show this elsewhere, not here, not now.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you say that, because what I do is I time my movie where it's like, all right, showtime says 4:30. I actually get there at like 4:55, and then I get in the theater. I maybe see one trailer, and then the movie starts.
Yep.
Yeah. I've been trying to do that. Yeah. That's a good idea.
Well, now you know. But no, I appreciate coming on, and I look forward to more chats with you. Yeah, I guess I don't know what else I got planned on this channel. I need to make videos about something, but I'm just so busy with work. So I will see you next Thursday. We'll have Rev Kev on, and who knows how fun that'll be. He'll probably have seen Shazam. He's a big Superman guy, so interested to pick his brain. It's been a while since we talked, so look forward to seeing y'all next week, and talk to you later.